Wahoo!
I don't know why, but like every time OBS updates, something new goes wrong, and I have to figure it out every time I do a new guest stream.
Wait. Are you using like legacy OBS? Like,
Yeah, I use legacy OBS when I do guests with streams, specifically because it's giving me less issues than Streamlabs.
uh-huh. Okay, I see. I see.
But it's magic.
All right. Still, you would put Lord Unzid. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Fine Knight. Yo, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So I saw that you had uploaded a new. I don't know if you talked with your chat about this, but I saw you tweeted this really cool logo on Twitter.
Yep.
Uh, did you share that with everyone yet?
Yeah, that's live.
That's live.
It's now
Nice.
up on the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's sick. I'm going to see if I can pull it up too because I want to take a look at it. But what was the issue that you ran into? Apparently, WotC wouldn't let you use like some logo or something like the
Well,
Addison logo.
WotC didn't contact me. Someone else contacted me and said, "Hey, FYI, WotC really doesn't like it when you use anything that is one of their logos in your like fan art and stuff like that." So,
Really?
really, so you can't use the like magic card back, the mana symbols, set symbols, the like magic logo that they usually use. You can't use any of that stuff. They explicitly do not allow it.
Do they say that somewhere? Like, because I remember seeing some stuff. So basically, okay, basically, I got really afraid when there was a period of time where I was like creating a bunch of like animations and things like that. And like I got super freaked out because I thought WotC was like not gonna let me use their artwork. Also, I don't know why, but my Google Hangouts is definitely not having fun right now. It's like violently flashing as if it's as if I'm at like a rave or something like that.
Can you focus on my shared screen, maybe? Will that stop that?
Yeah, I mean, like your taskbar is not going away. It is simply the Magic Online client. And honestly, if you minimize, can you minimize real quick? Are you sharing the window or are you sharing the screen?
I thought I was sharing the screen.
Okay.
Everything's better?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Nice.
So I think we have technical difficulties aside, but just to finish up the conversation, essentially, the policy that exists on paper says you can kind of do what you want, but don't mess with our logos.
Really?
Yep.
That's so weird. I I gotta look it up again because I remember like I was looking it up and they were kind of just like hands in the air. You know, it's time to turn up and party and you can do whatever do whatever you want. But that's weird that they would just like exclusively tell you not to. Wow, wait, what is this?
Yeah,
What?
this is the Wizards fan content policy that was drafted up by their lawyers. So it essentially says don't use stuff like our various magic logos, our tap symbols, our mana symbols, our set symbols, and anything else that is one of our logos.
No way. Wait, what does Duel Masters have to do with Wizards? Is that another one of their games?
I
Bet-
guess.
Betrayal at House in the Hill. What is that? Can you Google that real quick? Do you know what this is?
Betrayal at the House of the Hill? Isn't that a board game?
Is it? I don't know. I'm not particularly well versed in my board games. I'm not gonna lie. It is a tile game that allows players to build their own haunted house room by room. Nice.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about right now, so an artist gifted me a thumbnail for YouTube, and the original version that they sent me looked like this, which I thought was awesome. And then I got a message from someone who was like, hey, FYI, you really shouldn't use that logo for legal reasons. So the artist updated it and put a sword in there instead, uh, which I like almost as much.
Yeah, I mean
It,
the
it
saber
still
is pretty
looks
cute.
pretty darn sharp.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too. Um, but yeah. So how are you doing, Phil?
I'm doing great.
Nice.
I'm sort of in the same position as you are right now, where I'm just absolutely loving Legacy and playing all the time and having a ton of success doing it.
Hey, that's what's up. Yeah, I have been streaming this whole week, with no webcam because I'm in DC, and I've just been dancing and partying the whole time while playing Breach. This deck has been an absolute blast. Have you played with this deck or against this deck?
I have played against this deck a ton, but this is the first time that I am actually playing with it.
Okay, nice. How did your matches? What were you playing when you played against it?
So I don't know how much of my content you're following right now, but I'm usually playing 4 different decks a week right now.
I have been seeing the deck list that you've been posting. So actually, I'm on the West Coast, so you always you're live when I'm asleep in the morning because I go to sleep at like 5 a.m. My sleep schedule is actually whack. but I see the deck list that you post, and it's like, what was that one? I had to look it up. It was like runed, or like runic. It was that mono green deck. Oh my! You were literally playing the elk in your deck, the 3/3 elk, great stable set. Yeah, make that face, because I really just I mean, great stable stag and runic armor sword. That's the card. I had to look these cards up, Phil.
When
I
I
had to
have to
look the
get a Legacy Master to look up cards, that's when you know things have gotten spicy.
my jaw dropped, and I was just like, and did you 5-0 with that list?
I haven't played that one yet. That's
Oh,
on
thank
my
God.
to-do
Okay.
list. But I 5-0'd with this interesting pile of cards last week that include
Bro, rotting
Ashiok.
Regisaur. That's my dad. That's nice. So do you remember Legacy Unchained that we did with Callum?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, you know what deck would be busted? Gitaxian Probe, Cabal Therapy, Dark Ritual, Buried Alive, Arclight Phoenix, right? And then post board, just cut a lot of shit out and just play turn one Dark Ritual, Rotting Regisaur, and just like look at your opponent in their eyes and their soul, and just like mess with them in the head. But anyways, I'm stalling. So how do you wanna go about this?
Okay. So let's just do kind of a 1 minute deck tech here because I think most people know what Breach is by now. It is just absolutely everywhere in Legacy. So just
Mm-hmm.
tell us, Anuraag. Actually, like, Anuraag, who are you? I know who you are. A lot of chat knows who you are, but for any viewers on YouTube later, who are you?
I'm glad you asked. DJ, cue the beat. I My name is Anurag. I stream. I mean, like half of you probably were like hanging out with me on the stream earlier at UnzidMTG. I'm on Twitter, also UnzidMTG. Hey, guess what? I'm also on YouTube at UnzidMTG. Bing, bing, bing. Follow all three of those if you want to hang out. I mostly play Tundra cards. I play only Legacy. Let's see what else. That's about it. Yeah, I like to stream. I like to create Legacy content. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me here today.
Of course.
Uh, I've been playing a lot of Breach lately, and I've been having a blast playing it. I think I have played over 250 matches with the deck now in about a month or so, which is obscene. There's no way I could play this much Magic with Miracles in that small amount of time. Maybe like back in the day when I was really passionate about it. But I've been enjoying this deck a lot, and you know what? I'm here to change you, Phil. I'm here to make you a combo player. I'm gonna show you the combo player that you never knew you were. You know what I mean? Like we're about to change. We're about to take a journey in the Magic School Bus. Let's go.
All right. See if you can convince me playing something other than chalices. Chat is
Hey.
saying that you have a little bit of an echo. Just
Oh no.
FYI.
What if I? Okay, I muted myself. I'm not really sure what's going on. Oh, is it getting picked up from your headphones by chance? Because they mentioned earlier that there was like double audio. Not double audio, but that they could very softly hear me. I mean, it's not a big deal. I guess you have like open back headphones or something like that.
I mean, I feel like I have decent headphones here.
Okay.
It must be
Yeah, I
something
mean,
with the OBS settings.
it's fine. It's not a big deal. I mean, if chat's here, then we're here. You know what I mean? We are servants of the people, but they are also servants of the streamer. I guess.
All right.
Okay. I'm all right. So yeah, let's talk about this deck a little bit. I mean, like you mentioned, this is a pretty straightforward deck in terms of what it's trying to do. You leverage the card Underworld Breach, Lion's Eye Diamond, and Brain Freeze to create an infinite loop where you mill yourself and you mill your opponent out. How do you do this? You play Underworld Breach, you play Lion's Eye Diamond, you sack your whole hand to LED, including a Brain Freeze, and then you're able to escape the LED and the Brain Freeze using Underworld Breach. The LED conveniently made mana for Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze is going to put a bunch of cards in the graveyard, which will conveniently recast the Lion's Eye Diamond, which will then conveniently recast the Brain Freeze, which will conveniently, and you get the idea, right? And eventually, once you mill enough cards, you can start milling your opponent, and yeah, you just deck them.
All right. So
Uh,
talk to me about this intuition because I think a lot of people are going to go, you just intuition for 3 breaches and then you get a breach and you win. But it's really more complicated than that, right?
yeah, so intuition is so there are a couple of schools of thought with regards to how to build and play this deck. The very first version was created by uh, GP All Star Stefan Schutz. I think he had like the highest has one of the highest GP win rates in the world. And essentially, he started playing with the Enlightened Tutor version, right? Which would allow you to tutor for Underworld Breach in a pinch. You could tutor for Lion's Eye Diamond in a pinch. You could also tutor for Grinding Station, which is a pseudo brain freeze effect. But recently, everyone's favorite Storm player, Rodrigo Tagores, finished ninth place in MKM. Oh my God, wherever the fuck it is in Europe, you know what I mean? MKM in
Uh,
Europe. Yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
that'll do for our purposes.
Yeah. He finished in ninth place. I think he went he went X and two, losing to like Food Chain and Grixis Delver, and then beating a bunch of things. But he had this different take with the deck, which was instead of playing Enlightened Tutor, which is, you know, when you think about it, it's a pretty bad card in and of itself because it's like it's card disadvantage. I mean, it's nice that it's an instant and it's nice that it's 1 mana, but it really is just as simple as card disadvantage is bad. You don't really want that in your only good cards combo deck. So he was showcasing intuition instead, which is really powerful because it can tutor up anything in the deck and enable some pretty cool sideboard strategies. So when you cast intuition, generally speaking, you're going to try to get combo pieces that you're missing. So if you don't have Underworld Breach, you can theoretically search that up. You can search, you know, Lion's Eye Diamond up. The juicy target in the deck to get though is Seven's Reclamation, because Seven's Reclamation, if with that exact pile that you had there with Intuition, Seven's Reclamation, and Lion's Eye Diamond, it lets you flashback Seven's Reclamation from your graveyard to get back 2 CMC3 or below permanents. So then you put Underworld Breach into play, you put Lion's Eye Diamond into play, and then you just absolutely destroy your opponent. So it's pretty cool. Intuition, you can also do other cool things, like maybe you can like throw a Teferi in the graveyard if you want. You can put a bunch of brain freezes. You can even, so once you cast your intuition, getting your Underworld Breach, Seven's Reclamation, and Lion's Eye Diamond, you can then use Underworld Breach once it's in play to escape the intuition to search for even more cards in your deck. So basically, uh, intuition and Demonic Tutor and Yawgmoth's Will and all those sort of cool cards are very, very powerful together. And that's kind of what we've got here. Like it's absurd. In post board games, you get to intuition allows you to shave on some of the less powerful cards in your deck. So for example, Lion's Eye Diamond is not very good at stopping Force of Will. It's not very good at stopping Chalice of the Void. So you don't really want that kind of card in your deck post board. Intuition lets you shave some copies of Lion's Eye Diamond and Brain Freeze, and instead bring in, I mean, everybody's favorite 3 mana white spell Monastery Mentor to just like body slam people. So
Anuraag, are you having some separation issues with miracles, even though you're playing a new deck? Because like there's mentors in here, there's predicts in here.
that, you know what? I'm gonna say it. Here's an interesting thing, right? So like I feel like Breach is a very good deck, and a lot of the reason why it's doing well right now is because, well, I mean, it's new. People are still getting adjusted to it. Um, but it feels like not, I mean, like, not everyone has played the deck, right? And what I've learned from playing the deck, the number one thing that I've learned from playing the deck and talking to Rodrigo about how he built it, why he plays it the way he plays it, is that it is actually very secretly like it plays like miracles. It just really, really does. Every turn you're selecting, you're filtering with your cantrips. You have an incredible payoff in Underworld Breach. It's like top counterbalance where you just like play your top, play your counterbalance, stall, 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 and treat. Except with this, it's kind of like you play a silence, and then your Underworld breaches your entreat the angels, which is really weird when you think about it that way. But but yeah, I don't know. It plays a lot like the same. Many people don't believe me, but like of my games, I feel like they're really long, they're really grindy, and it's not exactly the herder, you know, just dump your hand. Origin installer wants to allow, what the hell? All right, I'll hit yes, sure, why not? Do what you want to do, app.
You get some more games for later. It
Yeah,
can't be
exactly.
bad.
Yeah, so I think the best quote to describe my relationship with this deck is that I transformed from a miracles player to a millicles player. I'm all about that mill value now. So
All right. With that being said, why don't we go ahead and just jump on
yeah,
into it? Because I think the
let's jam.
sideboard mostly speaks for itself. You know, good
Yeah,
cards are there.
exactly. And I
Um,
guess while we're in the queue, I'll just talk about it. But essentially, like, Mentor is your transformational sideboard. You have answers to Artifact and Enchantment, Hate and Serenity and Wear Tear. And then you have Swords to Plowshares to answer problematic creatures like what's that card called? Oh, Collector Oof, Thalia. Oops, sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the stream. But yeah, so we're playing against Young Gert, which who I think
I'm
is
gonna take a second and make sure my Moto sounds are muted for
okay. Yeah,
everyone here since I'm using desktop audio today.
sounds good. Young Gert destroyed me the other day. They were playing D&T, which is kind of funny. Um, I
We have a hand of spells that does not actually do anything. It has Brainstorm.
yep. So TLDR, all I ever do is if I see lands and spells that and a cantrip, I will keep. I basically never mulligan with this deck. And we have Forcible, which is really good. So right now we have like two pieces of the four card combo, right? So I call the 4 card combo Underworld Breach, Artifact Mana, Brain Freeze, and then some sort of protection, right?
Yep.
Uh, Forcible is going to be good in this matchup because it's going to stop maybe like a turn 1 Vial or like a turn 2 Thalia, Prelate, so on and so forth. This turn, I think we just play like a land and pass, hold up, play Spell Pierce. You just want to play like a regular, like just like a blue deck, you know what? There's nothing really surprising about this. So I'd probably just go like island and pass and say what's up.
That sounds good to me. The Spell Pierce is not going to do much if our opponent is on D&T and doesn't have the turn 1 Vial.
Yeah, I mean if we can cash in Spell Pierce for
Nope.
something, it'd be nuts. But no worries if we don't. We can always brainstorm it back. And so feel free to. I don't know how you want to do this. Whether you want to try and like guess the plays, and then we can like figure out what to do, or if you want to, like sort of just like be narrated. Let me know.
I'm fine with a mixture of both. I think the primary question right now is whether or not we actually just cast the Brainstorm now, or whether we just wait and do it after our opponent's turn.
Yeah, I actually like casting the brainstorm now because A, our deck is extremely explosive and we could theoretically win out of nowhere. But also B, like in case we draw something like a ponder, we may want to cast it this turn. I don't think we really gain too much because like if we had to hold up double spell pierce, then maybe it makes sense.
Yeah.
But we don't really want to. So I would just yeah, like we're so close to killing them now. In fact, they might even be dead, not next turn, but the turn after.
Turn after, maybe.
Yeah.
Do we just put back double Pierce at this point since our window to use it is probably gone?
Well, I would maybe. Oh, actually, that's kind of cool because we have the lightning bolt. If they play Thalia on turn 2, we can just bolt it. I think with this hand, we want all the mana, right?
Yeah.
But theoretically, yeah, we could just put back double bolt and be like, whatever. If you have Thalia, we'll just kill you the next turn, or maybe like look a little bit later. Worst case scenario, we get to pitch Brain Freeze or Intuition to.
Do we have a basic mountain?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the cool things about this deck is that you have so many basics in your deck that, unlike other combo decks, you really care a lot less about Wasteland.
All right.
Guardian of Thraben.
So just wait and just bolt it on our turn.
Yeah, and you can make an argument here for drawing the Spell Pierce as a blue card to pitch to Forcible if you'd like. Or you can take a random draw, it's up to you. I think they're both defensible plays.
So we would need to force potentially Revoker or Prelate, and everything else is basically irrelevant.
Prelate is probably the scariest card. The cool thing about the way this deck works is that since you have Lightning Bolt in your hand and Underworld Breach, if you get red mana, you can always play the Underworld Breach and then like Demonic or Yogg will the Lightning Bolt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we just redraw the blue card.
Yep, that's totally fine. And you can just spend this turn bolting the Thalia.
We
arguably,
do. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think you were about to say exactly what I was going to say.
I think we're supposed to bolt it now because if our opponent plays Caracas, life is just super awkward.
It's like you're reading my mind, Phil.
It's like I have 10,000 games in with stupid white creatures.
Nice. Goodbye, Thalia. I'm sorry. This is I don't know how to I don't know how to react.
Let me just throw a bunch of Thalias into chat. There we go. Everything's better now. All is forgiven.
And we fetch, so we don't know what's on top of our deck. That's pretty good.
Man.
Sanctum Prelate.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
That we drew that blue card.
Easy peasy.
Fetch a basic here.
We don't need to.
We don't need to.
Yeah, because we have a fresh card on top of our deck. Right? We fetch the Prismatic Vista.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yeah. So at this point, any LED, any Lotus Petal kills them on the spot. This one is a little bit tricky.
That's interesting.
I would probably cast a Brainstorm because, I don't know, mana efficiency. But Intuition technically is guaranteed to kill them next turn.
I think we
So
still
this is-
brainstorm because we can
Yeah.
we can hit a land or we can hit an LED.
Yep.
So
Both
like
of those cards will be very good.
okay.
Okay. So,
So
this
we
is fine.
put back a breach, a land, and intend on intuitioning for LED on our opponent's turn.
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
Or do we just intuition and play LED out now to play around a Thalia attacks?
Let's think. That's a really good point, actually. So technically, we can next turn we'll have 4 mana, right? So we can actually win through the Thalia if they play it next turn.
Okay, yeah, so we can go ahead and wait.
Yeah. So this is one of the really cool things about this deck is that if you have enough mana, you can actually just beat a single sphere effect naturally with the combo, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
Nice. There's the Caracas that we played around earlier.
I can't imagine they have a second Sanctum Prelate, at least game 1, but maybe post-board they do.
It's uncommon but not unprecedented. So like I did a tutoring session with someone last night who was playing double Prelate in their build.
I see.
Yeah, that's fine. You've died, friend. I'm sorry.
This is quite powerful technology that they are. Oh, they do have 2 Sanctum Prelates. Okay. Okay. Nice.
All right.
Yep. So we can get all basics here. We can flex our good mana, and then I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter. So, and at this point, it's just making sure that you execute the combo correctly, which is just a matter of clicking and things like that. So, the good news about this matchup is that we don't actually need Lightning Bolt to end our opponent. The primary reason why we play Lightning Bolt in this deck is that it is, in my opinion, I think I'm actually convinced of this now, it is the best way to beat Veil of Summer and Emrakul the Aeon's Torn.
Lightning Bolt is. Huh.
Very good. Yeah.
All right.
And honestly, from this position, I mean, the easiest thing to do is to get triple LED, but if you wanted to be like super fancy, you could get like LED, Sevens Reclamation, and something else. I don't know what, but like triple LED.
We'll go the easy route.
Yeah, we'll start easy and then we'll complicate it because.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to need to get cute to win at least once tonight.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
My mana is essentially of no concern right now. Like I can just tap things in a random order, and I have like the LED Brain Freeze, and we're just good to go, right?
This is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what I want you to get in the habit of doing, by the way, so you can go ahead and so this is just for future and other matchups. You may need to cast the Lion's Eye Diamond first, just so that you know, in case there is something like an Abrupt Decay or if your Breach dies. Nice. Opponent is saying A2 Brute.
All right, so we can just freeze ourselves here, and then we just have it, right?
Yep. Freeze, and then you can point all copies on yourself. And then crack the LED for blue.
And Bob's your uncle. Replay an LED.
And I tend to overthink what I exile with the escape, but honestly, it just does not.
As long as it's not one of your win conditions, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and on week 1, day 1, people would not concede until after you milled half their deck. So you're getting lots of extra value, but now people just like know, you know, that how the combo works and stuff like that. So let's talk about sideboard. Tell me what cards you think you'd bring in.
So the card that has well, ruined me on basically every deck that I'm playing is Serenity. That card has been incredibly powerful against me, just sweeping off all the Chalices, Ley Lines, Rest in Peace, Deafening Silence that I've played.
Yep.
But the interesting thing about your sideboard is, like, conceptually, you probably have 12 cards that you could bring in against taxes, but you definitely don't want all of them.
Let's see. I'm going to tell you to bring in 12 cards. I'm going to tell you to bring in 12 cards, yeah.
Okay, so I was correct? Just, bring in the pile?
Yeah. So we'll put that in a column. Just put it in a column all the way on the right side so we can, like, visualize what we're going to cut.
Yeah, no problem.
And then Also, I will say one thing is that for anybody who is watching and is trying to get into this deck, if you haven't already seen me play, one thing I will say is you need to go right now. You need to go to your local LGS, okay, and you need to look at that booster pack that you're about to buy and say, no, I am not going to buy this booster pack. Instead, you're going to fly to Spain. You're going to talk to Rodrigo Tagores. He's gonna sell you his sideboard guide for the same price as that one booster pack, and you're gonna win so many matches with this deck that it's gonna get banned next week. Nice. So now
Yeah.
that you've broken even on this transaction, so let's think of the cards we don't want.
So the counter spells are obviously relatively weak in this matchup.
Mhm.
The silence effects are less good than normal. You can
Correct.
use them as a time walk, but that's kind of iffy.
Yep. And then after that, so remember what I was telling you, right? The reason intuition is so powerful is because you get to cut some copies of LED and Brain Freeze. So I'm going to say cut 2 of each of those.
Okay, that makes sense to me.
Because at any point in time, we actually just get to, intuition for it. Plus, Lotus Petal is about as good as LED anyways when we're comboing off. So really, Brain Freeze is the bottleneck here. And we need to cut 2 more cards so we can just cut 2 more Force Wills.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
kind of my indication.
Yeah.
So we're playing now a much more reactive game this time around. So in game 1, we were the all-in combo deck. Now we're still the combo deck, but we have a backdoor win condition plus very strong answers.
Yeah. Janky, who I get nothing for advertising this, by the way. I get a pat on the back from Rodrigo. I just genuinely think that product is so good that we mulligan this hand.
Agreed.
Because
And then we
have no
keep
mana
talking
filter.
about that sweet sideboard guide.
Yeah,
I'm inclined
yeah.
to keep this one. And do we just ship back the Brain Freeze for now since we're not ready for it yet? Or since it's only a 2 of now, do we need to keep it?
So it's between the Brain Freeze and one of the lands. I can see arguments for both. I think the real discipline thing to do here is to probably put back the Brain Freeze.
That was
Definitely that's the more disciplined play. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do that because I'm thinking like your opponent kept 7, right?
Yeah. So,
So
we're
that
gonna
means,
we're
like,
gonna see like Deafening Silence, Chalice, Thalia. Like we're gonna see a strong turn 1 play of some nature.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be some sort of power, and this is a very good turn 1 play too, right? Instant speed Flicker Wisp is a little bit scary. I will say one.
In my experience, we usually don't make it to that point.
So this is just a cantrip turn.
Off
Think about your
Strand.
mana. What do you want? Yeah.
I want to leave access to Basic Mountain for later.
Yep. Sounds pretty good. They may have turned 2 Thalia, or they may just Violet in.
Hey, it's that other Brain Freeze, which now I think since we drew the LED, we do take. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is tricky. I would argue that I think so when we cast this preordain, what do you think you're looking for? I would argue that we're looking for answers to artifacts and enchantments, and I don't think Brain Freeze exactly gives us that. Although we do need to respect the ability to combo off at some point, I don't think that is this point right now. Right now, we want to saturate our hand with answers to answers. So I would probably bottom the Brain Freeze, but top the preordain because I think it's very important to have the gas flowing, if that makes sense.
Okay. And do you like playing out LED?
No, because potentially we may want to brainstorm it back into our deck. But the Thalia attacks would be the consideration for that. So also one thing that I think I'm a little bit terrified about is that because they showed me 2 Sanctum Prelate, I kind of feel like.
All right, old school.
Well, that happens, yeah.
That is indeed very strong right now.
So Chalice on 1 is one of those pretty cool cards that both can kill us and also can do nothing. Yeah, damn it. All right, so if we had kept the thing, we would have been doing just fine and dandy. But yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just like land and pass.
Yep. We are very, very close to going off still. It's just unfortunate that the bottom 2 cards of our library right now are freeze.
If we find intuition, I think we win. We could even shuffle our.
Prelate on 0 is going to be rough.
Yeah. Prelate on 0, Prelate on 2. It's up to you whether you want to shuffle or not. I think it's totally fine because we preordained the Brain Freeze and we also London mold the other card to the bottom of the deck.
I think I'm comfortable getting the mountain here.
Okay.
This is lazy timing on my part. I should do this at a different part of the turn, but whatever.
That's fine. And now one thing that you can also do is maybe preemptively play the LED out since we can't brainstorm it
Yeah,
back
now that
anymore.
the Thalia tax is there.
Yeah, exactly.
Rip swords to plowshares for 2 different reasons.
I guess there's a little bit of cacophony between playing the Lion's Eye Diamond out with Serenity. That's something that's always hard to sort of balance. But you know, Serenity is a 2 of, Brain Freeze is a 2 of, and Intuition is a 3 of. So it's hard to say what's right, what's wrong.
We'll just keep making land drops. It's
Yep.
fine. Do the Miracles game plan for a little while.
Yep. It's good to know that they have Chalice. What's also interesting is that okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, very interesting port timing there. But it's cool.
Mirroring Crusader, retro.
We're definitely getting clocked.
Yeah, we only have a couple turns now.
Sort of interesting that the Crusader's still in the deck.
Yeah, maybe it's just there to go fast.
It may be an indication that a good portion of their Stoneforge Mystic package has been sided out.
Loop, you're asking why Bolt instead of Thassa's Oracle? The Bolt can kill them, but it can also kill annoying creatures like Dahlia or Collector Oof or, you know, Planeswalkers. One thing to consider at this point now, oh, I guess we have LED, never mind, so we can just crack our whole hand. But I was going to say, like, if we had, like, Lotus Petal instead of LED, we could start firing off our cantrips into Chalice so that we could load our graveyard up. Kind of like a Cabal Ritual kind of thing, you know, when you're playing Ant.
Yep. So we're taking 6 here, potentially 2 off of our own lands.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're dead next turn either way. And the Aether Vial on 3, I'm terrified of Flicker Wisp here, but we can't beat that card anyways.
Correct.
Chalice on 0. Okay.
No outs now. Like, we can Serenity wipe 2 chalices and then die to what's on board. Actually, no, that's not true. We could Serenity wipe both chalices, Swords to Plowshares, a Crusader, go to 1.
Serenity's going to pop on our next upkeep, so it's not even that.
Oh, our next upkeep, not the next upkeep.
Yeah, so we have to draw Wear Tear here so that we can smash the Chalice on 1 and then plow something else. But I guess there's Rishad on port, so we can't even do that.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
That
Cool.
doesn't
do anything, does it?
Well, we're not dead, right? So we can block the
I guess
Crusader,
we can
take
block.
2, go to 1 after fetching once.
Yeah, I mean, we can just go through the motions here, but we're more likely dead than not. I mean, these are some pretty.
Do we even
plays,
show
so-
them this, or do we just concede?
So it's up to you. Like, I don't think we have enough. Like, I don't think the Monastery Mentor would go out, so we could just concede here if you want. It's functionally the same thing. Oh, that's a pretty good point, actually. Damn, we're dumb. Holy shit, AC Fox is right. We could have played the Breach here off Volcanic Island.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right, so we go 1, 2, 3 mana for Breach, have 4 mana total, crack LED, replay LED, get a Monk out of it.
Yeah,
But that's not actually all that great at the end of the day, is it?
Yeah, we would still have to double chump block because we have
Yeah.
2 blockers, but we'd be at 2.
Run back same 60 here.
Yeah, I think the only flexible considerations are whether we want more Force Wills in exchange for like a Lion's Eye Diamond, for example.
I don't know that I'm comfortable going down to 1 Lion's Eye Diamond.
Yeah, I mean, Lion's Eye Diamond is actually the one that I'm okay going down to 1 of because we have Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal is functionally as good as Lion's Eye Diamond when you're comboing off. I think this is fine. We can just keep testing this.
Okay.
Although we did see double Sanctum Prelate, and actually, you know what? We should probably make the change because Chalice is also pretty scary. Oh, never mind.
Nope, too late.
Yep. This is great.
Really?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an answer to Chalice. We have mana. The Preordain needs to find a couple lands and some other stuff, but I think we'll be fine.
So, are we turn 1 island preordaining, looking for another fetch land for removal spells.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything super oppressive that they would do on their first turn outside of Deafening Silence, which we technically have an answer to. I would also play the Lotus Petal out this turn as well,
I agree.
because of the Deafening Silence. How does the post board setup with Intuition for freeze work with Surgicals? It's about the same. I mean, a lot of the time you just like Orum's Chant before you pop off, right? In a lot of those kind of matchups. Perfect. Top both.
Top both.
Yeah. Pretty good. Okay. Mother of Runes. This creature needs to die right now.
Like right now?
No. I mean, like on our turn. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the question is, what mana do you fetch, right?
Yeah, that's actually really interesting.
Since we have 3 red spells in our hand, I'm inclined to say that we want to just, I think we just get Lightning Bolt mana.
Well, what's also interesting is we could preordain prior to fetching if we really wanted. It would only let us take one of the cards, but it could give us more information.
Yeah, the problem is that if we do it that way too, though, we kind of mess up the value. Because preordain is cool because we could like put 2 bad cards in the bottom. If we shuffle it, we lose a little bit of EV there. I'd probably just fetch, preordain, and then bolt.
Sounds good.
This is one of those things that I don't think about too much when maybe I should. But I get pretty sloppy here and then.
Okay.
Pretty good.
So take breach, bottom reclamation.
Sounds good. And now if we draw Brain Freeze, they die. And so walk me through the kill with Brain Freeze and Lotus Petal and Underworld Breach if you can.
So Brain Freeze, Petal, Breach.
It's just that easy.
Oh, just like the generic, like most generic of kills.
Yeah.
So you Brain Freeze yourself, you mill out most or all of your deck, you then use all the cards in your deck to go and loop Lotus Petal to get the mana you need to cast an actual kill condition on your opponent. It can be, Lightning Bolt them repeatedly. It can be Brain Freeze them out. Like, you have so many different options.
Yeah. Sorry, I actually said that wrong. But what I was trying to get at is that the reason Lotus Petal works with as like a combo piece with Underworld Breach is just because you can buy it back so many times to cast your Brain Freeze the first time. And for each time you cast Lotus Petal, you add 1 to the storm count, so you can deterministically be able to escape enough cards once you resolve your Brain Freeze to buy back the Lotus Petal. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. So we have some decisions to make here. We can choose to remove the Stoneforge. We can just jam this Mentor and then like play a tempo game after that, because like we can answer the Stoneforge, we can answer it, basically any other creature. We can answer the Sword of Fire and Ice. We have no cantrips currently to sculpt.
I would jam the shit out of this Mentor.
Good, I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah, we do lose out on this Lotus Petal. And there is some risk that they play turn 3 Sanctum Prelate, because their first 2 turns were pretty sloppy. I mean, I have to imagine they have a 3rd land and a Sanctum Prelate in their hand or something like that, but these are the sort of things that we kind of just have to deal with, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not even like too upset about that. And if we really, really wanted to get fancy, we could start doing some crazy stuff next turn, which involves like play Underworld Breach, buy back
Lotus Petal, like Bolt from Graveyard, Bolt from Hand.
The kind of stuff. Yeah. And then just make them, make a bunch of monks, and then.
Didn't our opponent keep 7, by the way?
I think they did.
And no, like, hate card on turn 1 or 2 is basically an auto mulligan for me in this matchup.
Which makes me believe that they do have a hate card, which makes me think, oh man, that was the hate card, I guess. Okay, that's fine.
All right.
These things happen.
That's still not all that bad, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, it sucks, but.
Yeah, if they have another Surgical, then it's a little bit bad, but really the card that was most valuable in our graveyard was the Lotus Petal. And also, you want to know something cool, Phil? This deck naturally beats The combo with LED and Brain Freeze also naturally beats Surgical Extraction too.
Oh, I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
This is an annoyance.
Yeah, Thalia is kind of a pain. Except you just top deck like a god, and then it's all okay. The Caracas is an issue for sure, but what we can do maybe is like play the Flooded Strand out and then just pass. And if you really want to get fancy, you could like burn the plow as like a tempo play on the Thalia end of turn, so they bounce it with Caracas, and then just make a bunch of monks and hope that they can't recover from that.
Well, I'm also thinking about attacking.
Okay, that's dangerous. I like it though.
Is it actually dangerous though?
No, actually, it's not even that dangerous. I mean,
Like it.
then yeah, go ahead.
So if they don't block, we can get 2 to 3 points of free damage, and if they do block, we can potentially force a Thalia bounce and kill a Stoneforge. Or alternatively, I just threaten blocks.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that you could do is like hope they have a land, and then they saw the wear chair in our hand anyway,
Yeah.
so they're not really. They showed us sort of Fire and Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I personally would probably just pass here, but you do have the attack available. I just don't think we're going to get enough value out of the attack. Like the Source of Plowshares has the potential to be so much more powerful. You know what I mean? If they do other stuff, like play a Sanctum Prelate or something weird like that, then maybe it makes sense to. Oh no, they're paying cost. That's spooky.
I mean, if they're paying cost, the Caracas probably gets tapped, and that's a net upside for us.
Yeah, I guess they can't play Chalice on 0. That's pretty good. Deafening Silence.
I mean,
sure.
they're setting up a wear tear to look mighty nice, so I'm okay with this.
Deal. Before you untap, let's think about this.
Do I Source of Plowshares this Stoneforge Mystic right here and try to incentivize dumping the sword in?
That's not too bad, actually. Yeah, I think that works. I don't think they would. Well, I guess the issue is like, if you do that, what happens next?
They put in sword. I try to spike land for fused wear tear for the 2-for-1.
Yeah.
I guess it's bad if I don't spike the land.
Yeah, then it gets a little bit awkward.
I guess I just continue to hold at this point.
Damn, this is tough. Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? We have 9 minutes on the clock, so we can actually talk about this. We can think about this decision. So if we plow the Stoneforge, they're definitely. Well, I don't know if they violate it in, because then they know about the wear tear, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's probably a little bit scary. And honestly, the wear tear must connect with the Deafening Silence. That is the scariest card right now in play.
So we can combo off through Athalia.
We need LED to combo off through Thalia. But
right. As a general statement, we can. It is possible to combo through Thalia.
This is true, yeah. I guess we're not really at risk. So Louis is saying to just take a draw here. I think it's fine. Yeah, we can maybe just pass. And then worst case scenario, I mean, okay, well
that's actually very interesting.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I think we just sit back for another turn now.
Hell yeah, let's chill. I mean, obviously, the reason this matchup can be scary is because, like, they can snowball very hard with permanents and things like that. Like, if they violate Batterskull over here, I don't really know how we feel. Oh, they did nothing.
All right.
Wow.
That is patience.
Well, I guess it makes sense, right? Oh, shit. Is this one spooky? Yeah. What are they going to get? Maybe Sanctum Prelate? Don't know. Hopefully they don't get Sanctum Prelate. Also, no, they can't violin sort of Fire and Ice there, because if they do, then we just plow the Thalia, and then we have a blocker for the sort of Fire and Ice creatures. So.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But this turn, I think we definitely get to pop one of the spells.
Yeah, I think we're...
Palace
Jailer. What? Okay.
Exciting. That's very exciting.
Like, A, why is that still in your deck? That's my first question. But
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I would just definitely kill the
Wear Deafening Silence. Or
Yeah.
tear it.
Yep. Seems pretty good. And then hopefully we draw land here. If we draw land, I don't know exactly how we want to combo off, but we can figure that out as we go. I'm so sorry.
All right, so we have the land.
Oh, beautiful. So let me ask you a question here. As I fix my mic, we're running. The clock is 9. I was wondering maybe we take that tempo plow play now that I was telling you about earlier.
All right, where we just like
plow
Thalia, play Breach, pedal, and just fire off a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, so what we can do is we can go. So let's think about how many cards we can cast from our graveyard this turn, because we can go plow the Thalia.
So that's 7, 8, 9 in graveyard. So we can cast 3 spells from graveyard.
So it's a little bit less than that, right? Because think about it. The cards that you want to cast, you cannot count towards the total number of cards you have in your graveyard.
Right, yeah.
So the way I visualize it is that we have Lotus Petal plus 6 cards in the graveyard. So that means we can cast 2 spells. We put the Prismatic Vista in the graveyard as well. That's not very useful. But we can still go like plow, pedal, plow again, and then cast another pedal maybe. And then they have...
All right. Wait. I'm in.
Yeah, don't tap the red though, but yeah.
Yeah. Get on the stack, friends. Let's do it.
Or I'm sorry, we can go buy back our pedal, buy back our plow, and then they have 1 creature, and we will have 1, 2. We'll have so many creatures, honestly, right? Because of Monastery Mentor. So the Palace Jailer that they just tutored up for looks pretty bad here.
Secondary Plains or Island.
I would get an Island. And honestly, I think this is the best that we can do with the hand that we have. And also the time that we have left. Doesn't really matter what you exile here.
Whee! Okay, why are we not all going on the stack here automatically?
Oh yeah, did you tap right click and do the thing? Oh yeah, so right click real quick and then
well, I've auto yielded to some things, but not enough things, I guess.
You have to hit stack triggers automatically.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can just attack with 2 of your monks. You can't really cast, you can't escape anything else, so. But this is a pretty powerful board. Like, they're gonna struggle to come back from it, I think. Or maybe not. We need to draw like a cantrip or something like that, but.
Yeah, we have so many different live draws here.
Yeah.
Any cantrip, any removal spell, a breach.
Yeah. So there's Thalia, sure.
We also may end up becoming the Monarch.
Yeah.
Like our opponent will exile the Mentor. No?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you for leaving me with Mentor.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, nice. Easy. Easy money. Easy money. Just take it.
I think we get the Thalia here.
Absolutely.
It leaves the possibility of... Alright.
So wait, no, seriously, you got to learn this because it's going to come up a lot. Right click on the screen, the battlefield.
Okay.
Stack abilities automatically.
Okay.
And now click the mentor trigger, the rightmost one.
Okay.
And just left click it, yeah. And then the rest will automatically go on the stack for you.
Okay.
And yep, now kill, because this is a lethal attack. They have to completely lose their board. We become the Monarch, and it's nice.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Opponent should have exiled the Mentor there, very clearly. But
yeah,
we take those.
Yeah. Perfect.
This is fair. This is fair magic, right?
The saddest part is that we also
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Maybe they go, I don't know, Cataclysm. Does Cataclysm here help them? Why would they have Cataclysm in their deck? You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't. Would they? I don't know, Phil. I'm not a Death and Taxes pilot.
I don't know, but for lulz, I'm going to destroy this sword.
Nice. Just
Insult to injury.
wait. Oh, you know what? You could play the Underworld Breach first, and then buy back the pedal, and then kill it.
We
But
had lethal so many different ways there.
this is true. We still had all these.
Like I could have just cast a Serenity for prowess.
Nicely done. You are currently undefeated with Underworld Breach. I'll see you. I'll see you next time. This is where you reside, retire, right?
I mean, this is how a lot of the guest streams have gone. You know,
Yeah.
somebody gets me on stream here with them, and then we just crush.
Well, I hope we continue to crush. We may end up going 1-4. You never know. The whack stuff can happen.
We got this screenshot for later, right?
Yeah, I'll have you know, I played 4 rounds today when I was streaming earlier, and I went 4-0. So this was the honorary 5-0.
Sounds good. We'll count it.
Mimoto forever remember.
Post it to Twitter.
Exactly. Oh, hello, Twitch chat user Ducedris. You can check out Rodrigo Tagoris's sideboard guide. He's the creator of this deck, in case you weren't aware. I am totally messing with you guys. So Phil, I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of meeting Stefan Schutz. That guy is
not in person.
That guy is smart beyond compare. Okay. Oh, yow. Nice. This hand is beautiful. And we're on the play too. Beautiful. They're probably playing. Okay, I remember they beat me with Grixis Delver a while ago. Damn, we're getting a lot of good players in this league already.
I mean, my experience recently is that I'm like X and like people whose name I know.
Yeah.
Like Matt Soul has ruined so many 5-0 runs from me recently.
Hey.
Matt's is too strong. Ban Matt's.
Wait, I'm so happy they mulliganed to 5. Does this mean that they think you're playing Death and Taxes and they're mulliganing a lightning bolt? Because that is just pure justice. I really, really wish that I could just like trademark register your name on Magic Online or something like that. Just have people fill them with all sorts of fear.
So like I have this reputation as the D&T guy, but my last 3 5-0s are with Mono Black Control, Enchantress, and Green 12 Post, or maybe Red Prison.
Jesus, wow. Kind of wish you hadn't said any of that.
Right?
That's exciting though.
Preordain here.
Yep, I'm a fan.
We're just looking for land. I
want
to bottom both.
And there's a land on top. Okay, that's fine. It's not a big deal. There's a land on top.
Wasteland me. You won't, you coward.
No, they definitely don't have Wasteland here. So game 1 against this deck, Delver variant, is kind of yay, cool. Well, things just got a lot better for us. I can only imagine that they're playing the Breach Mirror match. So I guess they punked us, or they punked me at least, because I was convinced they were playing Delver. And this is why you don't, Twitch chat, remember, read too much stock into people do.
Don't MTG Goldfish your opponent and assume they're playing the last deck they had finishes on.
Hey, there we go. That's a very elegant way to say what I was trying to say.
At the same time, if they have 77 finishes with Black Red Reanimator over the last 3 years, good chances.
There's Lotus Battle.
All right.
Dr. Bill says, oh, wow. Okay. Did you beat me in that trial? Probably. That sounds like triple vial. I got to think about that one. Okay, cool. So Lotus Petal. So this, I'm going to assume this is the Breach matchup, right?
Yeah.
Under plus Lotus Petal. Pretty indicative of that. When you see Lotus Petal, what do you think?
So I personally think that my opponent is playing around me being on the blue-white Taxes deck that I most recently recorded with, and that they're playing that out because of Thalia.
Gotcha.
That's my thought. But that's probably not what you're thinking.
Right. So I'm actually thinking of something else. I'm actually thinking that they're holding up Orange Chant, which is very good against our combo.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest here, we don't need another Underworld Breach.
Yep. I do think I really want that Brainstorm, though.
I like having a second cantrip to, just be locked and loaded for the next turn. and Brainstorm is going to be especially good because it can put back stuff that we don't need in case the next few draw steps are not good for us.
Do we want
I
to ponder?
Yeah, I would just get max greed, get your duels, and
Yep.
ponder, develop basically. Because you have the Tundra in play, I mean, like you could. Oh, Orange
Ooh,
Chen is an all-star in
that's
this matchup.
great.
Yeah. So the next few turns are going to be pretty good for us, honestly. And hear me out. We're just going to play draw go, uh, and just let them sit in fear. They get to sculpt their hand a little bit, but we're going to have Force of Will, Orm's Chant up, and then when we draw the fourth land, we get to play Teferi, which is probably one of the best cards in the matchup because it completely turns off their Orm's Chant and it turns your Orm's Chants into literal time walks.
So another thing they could have is you were talking about like Orange Chant or Silence. They could also have a Pierce.
Spell Pierce is another card that they could have. Yes, that is a card that is starting to see some play. They did mulligan to 5, so I'm not like completely. I'm not too scared if they spell pierce us because we're just like so rich with resources right now that the one for one trade isn't even bad. And like worst case scenario, like you can use the if the Teferi gets spell pierce next turn, we can like intuition try to find sevens reclamation and some other stuff, and then like try to buy it back. However
I
we
am
want to do.
about jamming this here though, right?
No. I
No.
don't think you jam here. Yeah. So remember, this is what I'm saying. When you play like, imagine if you were playing Miracles, you'd never want to tap out of your counterspell mana at this point of the game, right? So Orange Chen is kind of like that. It's just like
Okay.
you want to hold it up. Yeah. Next turn we'll have it all. Next turn we'll be able to be happy. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I'm lying to you because we have a mountain on top of our deck. Yeah, we do have a mountain on top of our deck. So we may want to brainstorm. Because we need white, and Scalding Tarn can't get a white source.
Okay.
I lied to you. Read chat. I think we semi messed up here since we can't Shafir with this mana setup. Yeah. Stefan, I just realized that. So what we could do is just like brainstorm end step or something like that.
All right. How do we respond to this?
So the issue is if it resolves, they can play Lotus Petal from the graveyard, escaping their entire thing, and then cast Brain Freeze. So the easiest thing to do here is to
Just chant.
yeah. And now you get to see how powerful this card is in the matchup, where it just like completely bodies them uh, from doing anything. Imagine a world where like Teferi gets spell pierced when we tap out for it. Also, I don't know if we want the mountain. You're free to brainstorm here if you'd like.
I think I do like.
You would let it resolve, Stefan? I don't think we would lose to Pack because we still have a Force of Will, but so here, you are. I would put back both lands and then just fetch.
Okay.
Keep all the action. There's an argument for keeping land number 4.
Land 4 is less good now that I don't have my silence effect in hand, and we just won.
Yeah, this looks like a win to me.
So
Before we do it, they'll walk me through it. How does it work?
it's just LED, breach, crack LED, intuition for brain freeze plus 2 other cards, like I guess like brain freeze LED, and brain freeze ourself, and get there.
Okay, that's the first half. Yes, so you found the cards to get. Now I'm gonna make you do the dirty work here. Do you have enough cards to escape?
So I have 1, 2. So I have 7 in graveyard, which become 8, 9, 10. Well, 8, 9, 10. So it's 3 for recurring an LED, 3 for recurring a brain freeze. Or, well, I guess this will be 3 for recurring intuition, and then 1, 2, 3 for recurring the brain freeze. So yes.
Okay. So 1 sec. Let me think about this. So we have 7 cards in our graveyard. if we do the line that Stefan is suggesting, we would go down to 4 cards. We played this, then we would have enough cards in our hand. So that makes a lot of sense. So there's actually, so the way I get super paranoid when I play this kind of matchup, and I want to be like, you know how like Storm players are, how they always go for like deterministic kills.
Right.
I like to do that with this deck as well. So I also wouldn't necessarily mind just playing Teferi out here and taking down to draw a card. But the other line,
Okay, what about instead cast Breach, cast Chant from Graveyard off Tundra, still have Force of Will in hand before we've cracked LED?
and then once the LED goes to the graveyard, we would have 4 cards in our graveyard plus Teferi, Intuition, and Force of Will. So that's 4 plus 2 is 6, which is enough to escape the Intuition or triple Brain Freeze and escape the LED. So we'd have to do it in the reverse order, but yeah, this that would work. Yeah, you can do that too if you want. Just be sure to escape Lion's Eye Diamond before Intuition, so we have lots of mana floating.
Okay.
If you want to go off this turn.
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I didn't do the math for if we have to Force a Will.
yeah, I did, and the Ponder doesn't need to go to the graveyard.
Okay.
So you're fine. So these are like the small sort of things. You see how there's like a lot of stuff, like you have to worry about each little nook and cranny. And so they've just passed the turn here.
What?
Oh, so they didn't just pass. They like it resolved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would be surprised if they had anything else, but we can still go ahead with this line and just take the deterministic line. If they have an orange chant in their hand, we don't want to necessarily lose to that. So you can just start by doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Choose you. White. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Done. Okay.
And then, yep. For blue, blue, blue. Perfect.
And now you said replay the LED first?
Yeah, we need to play the LED first because when we cast the Intuition, we don't want to have to sack our hand. We don't want to sack the Brainstorm or the Brain Freeze to the LED.
Okay, so now I just recrack for the blue now.
Yeah.
Choose you.
Counting is for cowards. Nice. I like that. Yeah. Eventually, like you just that's where I want to be, Pingu. I want to be at the point where I no longer, and we get triple Brain Freeze here, and it should be good enough. I want to get to the point where I just like look at board states and I just kind of like half-ass my way through it. Although this deck is, I feel like it's a little bit more punishing when you do that. No, Storm probably is just as crazy. Nice. And they're dead.
Wee.
So you can definitely just finish here. One thing that I will say though, at some point when you're looking for minor edges, and this is very small. Oh wait, where did the LED go?
It's the bottom of the graveyard here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see it for a second. I got scared. But now you have so many cards in your deck that you just probably start brain freezing them. Like brain freeze yourself the minimum amount that you need to recur the combo, and then just spend the rest on them. This way you minimize the amount of cards you expose that they see. For example, they may have not seen the Flusterstorm, for example, right? So now they know in game 2 to play around it. That kind of stuff.
Okay.
And
are we just at the point where double brain freeze is just lethal on them?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And be sure just not to exile the second Lightning Bolt in case there's some weird stuff in their deck.
Okay.
Yep. The other thing to consider, so the one thing that I'm a little bit like afraid of with this deck, especially with Lightning Bolt, is the certain situations where you don't have enough cards to kill them from 20, but that has not come up for me yet. But yeah, so for this matchup, yeah, I mean, I think you can see some of the cards that, yeah, you're pulling over all the right cards here. the guide suggests bringing in 2 mentors, 2 wear tear, 2 silence. Rodrigo's not actually playing Lavinia. That's a me card.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely coming in. It's very
yeah, it's
suited
very
for the
good.
mirror.
Yeah. And then the 6 cards that he suggests cutting are silences. Sorry, not silences. Two freeze, 2 LED, and 2 bolt. So you'll see a pattern where you just end up cutting the same card over and over and over again, being a little bit of the combo, and then some of the cards that just don't do too much in the
So
matchup.
we're gonna need to cut one final card though,
Yeah.
if we're
So
bringing in the Lavinia.
I dig deeper and I cut a third LED.
Wow.
I really do not value LED very highly in this kind of matchup, just because Lotus Petal is LED number 5, 6, 7. It takes away a little bit of your explosiveness, but this matchup is going to be like a controlled matchup where we're just going to be firing off Orm's chance left and right, and whoever has, uh, I mean, you're going to have a stocked graveyard at the end of it. Also, in my mind, it's fine to just play like a control deck and sit back and relax, and you don't need cards like Lion's Eye Diamond for that kind of stuff. So,
All right.
yeah, one thing to be conscious of is they might have stuff like their own Lavinias, in which case we would have to like reallocate resideboard going into game 3, bring some bolts in or something like that. But we'll tackle that once we hit it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wait a minute.
You madman.
So the reason this is so close is because we have forcible blue card, and legit, if we find a land, we're in like a really good spot. Stefan, what do you think? Do you keep this? It's like not that bad, but the other thing to think about is that it's so easy for us to just get silenced on the combo turn that maybe we don't want it. But we are on the draw too. So I mean, do you want to just play around and you keep risk first any non. Okay, so I guess we're mulliganing. Okay, sure. Better players than me will tell you what to do here. Oh, this hand is nuts.
Second breach back.
Yeah, sounds good. You can also make an argument for putting back a Scalding Tarn here.
Yeah, I could see that just as easily.
But the reason I think we want to keep the Scalding Tarn over the second breach is that we're probably just not doing anything anytime soon.
Yeah, we are going to stare at each other for a while unless we get an LED, and then maybe we'll talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I pass with mana up, or do I just ponder?
I like passing because they can kill you on turn 2. So I like that. I mean, they could still kill you with combo plus forcible or pact negation, but like if that kind of thing happens, it happens. Might as well mitigate giving them the free win, just like that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Find a ponder here though.
Yeah, don't do it off the Scalding Tarn because
Yeah, do it off of this island.
Sounds good. Yeah, J-Lab, that's a very good
counter
point.
this?
I mean, that's pretty good for us if they do. Like,
Sure,
I'd very much.
You can brainstorm in response to my ponder, friend. I'm a-okay with that. I don't know that there's great gains there.
Yeah. Okay, here's another thing to think about. Now that we have Underworld Reach in our hand, if we ever get an opportunity to brain freeze ourselves, we should consider it because that gives us the potential to mill LED and Lotus Petal, which would be sufficient to combo, right? We don't necessarily need the Lotus Petal or the Lion's Eye Diamond in our hand. We just need it somewhere where we can access it once our card has resolved. What are your thoughts?
I don't know how willing I am to tap out for the Mentor at this stage of the game, but I think Mentor is quite good.
Nice. Perfect. I also agree. I would keep the Mentor. I would shuffle away the Flooded Strand and the Seven's Reclamation. And then we do nothing next turn, and then we jam Mentor the turn after.
Yeah, when we have the silence backup. Yep, okay.
Yeah. And to be clear, when I say silence backup, I mean I'm not going to commit. I'm not going to use the silence to resolve the Mentor. I'm going to use the silence to prevent myself from dying on their turn. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Miracles Mirror back when top was legal. The goal of the game is to not make sure that you win, but to make sure that you don't lose. Does that make sense? So any opportunity you get to hold up mana, you just want to do that. And then at some point you want to find like strategic points where you can start committing threats to the table with the intention of them getting countered, just so you can whittle away at your opponent's hand and then find a window to resolve your own stuff.
I'm not proud of this, but I've played Orum's Chant in D&T before, so
Ooh, okay.
I'm
I
no
play. I play.
stranger to that.
Yeah, I played Orum's Chant in Scepter Chant before, like a month or two ago. It was exciting.
Look, sometimes you just need to get that sort of itch out of your system. I get
I
it.
agree. It was a. I mean, it's. I don't know if it's out of my system because here I am now. You know what I mean? But like it. Oh, what is this? Lilia?
Ooh,
Oh, seal of cleansing. Sure,
yeah, that's fine. I
that's a
can't really do
quality.
anything about it.
Yeah, don't forget to shuffle in your upkeep.
I guess I can just do it on end step just as easily since opponent's tapped out.
Sure, sounds good. And it is your call whether you want to. I think it's maybe better to leave the Tundra in the deck. It's kind of hard to say because we want to be able to fetch it maybe and use our volcanic island to do other stuff or other. You know what I mean? Um,
So
not a.
we have white in hand already, so maybe we want to get the volcanic here.
Now that I think about it, I like that better. Actually, that's not true at all. If we draw a second silence, we want to be able to hold up both of our silences. So I guess we have to get the Tundra
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah, that was almost an error. I mean, I guess we could have recovered from it, but little things.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think's the most shameful card you've ever played in Legacy?
Ooh, let's see. You okay? Maybe not shameful, but you know a card that I heard of recently that was pretty cool. Someone, I think Dukes posted on Twitter. Stefan, are you listening? Equipoise. I don't know. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god, that card destroyed him. That screenshot was so savage.
It was the most savage. In fact, yeah, I was in love. The Flusterstorm makes things a little bit trickier because you have played Equipoise before. Wow. I mean, it's 3 mana, which is kind of unfortunate, but like,
So is Teferi's Realm.
yeah. Three. Wait, I think this might be like a better. I want to check the Oracle text on this real quick. Balance of forces or interest. Nice. That's what the definition is. Oh wait, what? Why does Boldenone Undecyclinate show up? Okay, you know what? These questions are not for me.
I'm sure Anuraag has played plenty of copies of Soothsaying in his days.
I almost top 8'd a top 4 to Team Grand Prix with Soothsaying. We lost our winning in. It was unfortunate. It was me, Julian, um, and so that's Lyserd 42, and then oh shit, who was the last person? Louis Bachode.
Alright, so real talk here. Our opponent has cantrip twice in this turn. Should we just brain freeze ourselves?
Um, that's exciting. So, okay, do you want to play around surgical extraction or no?
Do you think we have the luxury of playing around surgical extraction?
Well, we have to answer your question, yes, because we have Monastery Mentor. Excuse me. We don't necessarily need to go all in on the Underworld Breach. We could just, do we know what's on top of our deck? Did we fetch yet?
We fetched Tundra at end step and we didn't cantrip, so no, we don't know what's there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we could just like untap, draw, and chill. It is your call. We do open ourselves a little bit to surgical, but that's fine if you want to do. The other thing too is that because they have seal of cleansing, is brain freezing ourselves for 9 cards even going to be good enough?
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like we would have to hit another underworld breach to play around the thing. Yeah, and just like fetch properly here and stuff like that. You could also, sorry, I say this a little bit late, but you could also make an argument for just preordaning and passing and holding up both your protection spells, but like jamming because then you're down a. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Like
Yeah.
having two counters up instead of the other one. Oh, but you're also welcome to jam. I think they're both.
I think we jam with one piece of protection up.
Mm.
If this resolves and our opponent just doesn't immediately remove it, which they probably don't have too many answers to it in their deck other than just counter spells.
Yep.
If we get to untap with this mentor, we probably either actually or effectively win the game.
Yeah, and there's 0% I'd fight to protect the mentor, by the way.
Agreed. We can breach it back later.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah. That's fine.
Getting Underworld Breach, sure. Yeah, I mean, we could. So this means what? That they have an LED and a Brain Freeze in their hand, and two other cards that we don't know about. So it's not impossible for that to be a Force of Will. In which case, maybe we're dying here, but whatever. You know, if that happens, it happens.
Yep.
That's so that would be like the reason to not. Okay, just silence back. This is pretty cool too, right?
Mentor triggers. Get them.
Hey. So now they have to have Force of Will and blue card.
I mean, they have to have the perfects at this point. It has to be counterspell.
Well, the blue card is going to be Veil of Summer, right? It has to be like like a one card counterspell. So, yeah. Was there an argument to flustering that so they can't pierce our silence? Maybe. Wait, pierce our silence? Oh,
If they pierce our silence, they can't go off unless they also have pedal in there. Oh, that's a. Oh my god.
All right, they're
Yes.
just dead.
All right. So,
Yes.
do we have a deterministic kill yet? No, because we don't have artifact mana.
Correct.
But we can preordain and try to find it.
Yep. And honestly, like at this point, we don't even need to do anything. Right? We have the clock in hand. We know they have no more. We know they have Underworld Breach and probably a Brain Freeze in their hand. So we could just sit back, relax, and just attack them a couple times and then win.
Yeah, but we should at least preordain, right? Since we can already hold up the other two pieces of interaction.
Yes, absolutely. And then we want to also consider if they do nothing. Now we have the option. Now it makes more sense to Brain Freeze willy-nilly because, well, ooh, they could just die here.
So 4 cards in graveyard. Preordain is 5th in graveyard.
I will let you figure this one out.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Our preordain is 5 in graveyard. Lotus Petal is 6 in graveyard, but I don't actually want to do that. So I can just play Breach, Petal, Brain Freeze myself, and have enough fuel to go off.
Correct. I will. That technically does work, but again, like with this deck, you want to be as deterministic as possible. So actually, don't forget they also have Seal of Cleansing in there in play, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So now that I think about that,
I should just take the. I should bottom the Petal, I guess. Take the Pierce, and just attack, and then have 3 pieces of interaction available to me.
What happens if you? Well, you know what you could do is you could top the. Maybe you just bottom the Pierce and top the Petal, and then just rely on Brain Freeze, Flusterstorm, and Orange Chant to do stuff.
And just treat the Lotus Petal as effectively a lightning bolt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that might be good enough here.
All right, so yeah, you want to bottom this top Petal?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
And then just hit him. Hit him where it hurts.
Right, I thought we were stacking those automatically.
Yeah, I think you have to do it like between every game or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, HC Fox is right. So basically, this is why Mentor is going to be so good in this matchup because kind of like in the Miracles matchup, right? It just completely changes the pace of the game with one card. Because I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it makes sense. We saw what happened last time as well. So.
Should I bother?
Don't worry about the. Nah. Because next turn we can do it. They're dead like a million times over, no matter how we play our spells and sequence our things and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Okay.
Sure.
You got it.
Nice. And this is why I don't like a card like Seal of Cleansing in this matchup. Like, I would actively board Seal of Cleansing out because all the Jeskai lists are playing Wear Tear. Seal of Cleansing is just like a walking time bomb here.
Yeah, this is fine, right?
Yeah.
This does nothing, at least on its own. Yep.
Oh, you know what? There's an argument actually to Orange Chant in response to the. We'll do it now. Yeah, I mean we Orange Chant now. But if you Orange Chant in response or on their upkeep in response to the Lion's Eye Diamond, so So yes, that is. Don't let that resolve. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so they cannot. Oh, they can. They can pay exactly the right amount. Oof. Okay, yeah, I was thinking maybe we want to orange chant in response to the thing there, but and they have plenty of cards. Wait, they don't have brain freeze? Oh, but they have 11 cards in Enlightened Tutor. Okay, I guess we're supposed to Flusterstorm the Force of Will then and make them crack their LED and their Lotus Petal. Where's the Pierce? It's on the bottom of our. What does that mean? You don't understand bottoming the Pierce? Yeah, maybe we wanted the Pierce there instead of the thing then. Damn it. Okay, all right. So we definitely made. Definitely mistakes have been made. So learning stuff. But there's a lot to absorb.
I mean, interestingly, the Seal of Cleansing on the Lotus Petal actually kept them from having this counterspell, because otherwise we could have brain freezed ourselves to build the storm up by 1.
Wait, what do you mean?
So if we had the Lotus Petal, we'd have 1 more mana to work with, right? So we could have brain freezed ourselves, built up the storm, and then had Flusterstorm
Oh, yeah.
counter
That's
for
a good
more.
point. Yeah. What do they pitch to the Force of Will?
Brain freeze.
Okay. So I guess now we just sit back and let them figure this out.
Yeah, I assume we are dead. It's just recast Lion's Eye Diamond, make blue and white off 2 iterations of it. Use some of the white to No, I guess the Enlightened Tutor doesn't get them a brain freeze, sorry. So they have to cantrip into a brain freeze.
Yeah, they secretly don't have enough to do it, but that's good for us.
Walked Airplane. Breach is probably the premier combo deck of Legacy at this time. It is extremely powerful, and it's still also in its initial stages where people are still brewing and messing around with it and trying to figure out the best shell. And I don't think we've solidified on the de facto best Breach deck yet.
Blue. That is interesting. All right, so they are YOLOing it, I guess. So yeah, I don't think they had enough to. I don't think they had enough to actually do the Enlightened Tutor thing because they would have to cast 3 artifacts, 1 LED for white mana, 1 LED for blue mana, 1 LED for Grinding Station, and that's 9 cards already. And then Enlightened Tutor is 12 cards, and then a cantrip is 15 cards, and they only had 14 cards in the graveyard. So they secretly didn't have enough to do it, which is good for us.
They also pitched a brainstorm to their force. So if they're boarding similarly to how we did, they have 1 brain freeze to hit.
I don't put much equity on other players boarding the way we do because I don't think that our opponents that can afford to board this way because they have Enlightened Tutor and not Intuition, right? The reason we get cut
that
on the
makes
brain
sense.
freeze, is because we can technically tutor up our combo pieces with Intuition. Our opponent has to still keep them in the deck unless they keep all of their Enlightened Tutors and not their other stuff. So I'm not really sure why they're casting Preordain here.
I also do not understand. I think you're supposed to be pondering, taking as many looks deep as you can, because Ponder lets you look at 4 first.
Yep. How's the black-red matchup? Good question. I would say it's like even, maybe slightly unfavored, depends on the configuration. All right, opponent. Does luck favor you? Gosh, if we had kept the Spell Pierce, they chose to not shuffle. Damn. I mean, I guess we're... Wait, what? If they chose to not shuffle...
That's just 1 card deeper. That's interesting.
That means the Brain Freeze must not be there, right? Because it would have immediately cast the Brain Freeze here?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess technically you could have like Flusterstorm in your hand, but Brain Freeze. What? Wow. Okay, we're fetching. Okay, so they get to Ponder again. Damn, that's pretty good.
The fetch line is way better than it looks on the surface here.
Yeah. Really.
I'm intrigued by some of the nuances of this turn.
So they bottom top. So they're just trying to like chug along here. I guess they have mana. They went bottom top again. All right, I guess we're dead. They did see a lot of cards this turn.
So I think their whole strategy with doing what they were doing was just try to fill the graveyard to get more looks later.
Yeah. Oh, blammo. That's unfortunate. I guess they found it. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we'll is that targeting us or them?
Yeah, I think they're just targeting themselves here.
Okay, so we'll take a quick peek and then concede.
Yep. Sounds good. Sorry about that. I guess we should have just kept the Spell Pierce instead of the Lotus Petal. That's on me.
I mean, that one was kind of my thought, but I also didn't take enough time to think about the LED and our Flusterstorm.
Don't have 6, by the way. They targeted you a couple times. Yeah, because then they get to see how you boarded in. Spell Pierce. They boarded in Chain of Vapor. Anything else interesting?
So all the rest of these are targeting me. So we see a Pact of Negation and a Grinding Station.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good.
Yeah. Darn. Okay, I would chalk this up to a better player would have won this one. Not you. Speaking on myself, because
I made a mistake too. Like I'm with you.
But I think otherwise we're fine. Like I don't know if I want to recalibrate the deck since. Yeah, I mean I think we're fine.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Elkman?
I would consider cutting a Predict for the other mentor, but maybe
Yeah, I
that's
think
just
Predict.
me.
I think Predict is better. It's just like you want to have the volume of cards in your hand so that you can sort of fight a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's just the card count that you were talking about earlier in the stream, where when you get into these attrition wars, you just need to be the one who has more draw spells at the end of the day.
Yeah, you want to trade back and forth and back and forth. Also, Predict is good against Enlightened Tutor.
That's like hilariously good against Enlightened Tutor.
Yeah.
So, since you mostly stream 2 decks, like you're mostly a Miracles guy now, you know, Breach has become your new baby. I don't know how much you get this, but a lot of times when I'm like trying to learn a new deck on stream with someone, it takes a lot more mental energy than when I'm normally just jamming games with something I'm more comfortable with.
Oh yeah. The first time I played this deck, I tried to learn it on stream by myself. I went 1-7 in matches. It was a bomb. It was miserable, and I was like, wait, is this deck really that good? And then it took a week of like 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 miles, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then I was like, all right, I'm getting the hang of this. And now I feel like I can like sort of just like dribble like a pro between the legs, around the legs, through the legs, in the legs, just eyes closed, like that sort of thing. So it does take a little bit. We'll probably have to like play a little bit faster this game, but
Ship it.
this one's got to go, unfortunately. This one can stay. Yeah, this one's fine. And then just land and pedal and pass.
Yeah, bottom of Breach.
Oh yeah.
We'll play out the pedal so our opponent can destroy it again.
Yes, that will be very powerful magic. All right, seems good. Pass.
Just pass.
Yeah, we're in a very good spot here. Well, not a very good spot, but like a spot, I guess.
We have land and spells. We do have 2 pieces of interaction.
Interesting. That's a very aggressive E-tutor, but sure, it resolves, I guess.
For a Lotus Petal, so that presumably means that they have the Breach in hand already.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's exciting. Okay.
Yep. Okay, after all that.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
All right, just
I'd
pass
probably
again.
just, yeah, I'd probably just keep passing. I just don't see a reason to make a move here until I mean, they took a mulligan for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty good. So
All right, so we pass again, but next turn
we consider stuff. Yeah.
we have to consider just like sacking the pedal and trying to brainstorm or ponder to fix our hand.
Potentially, yeah.
It's just so awkward though because if we miss on
Oh
the
yeah.
land drop, we're so
Then things get pretty bad. But okay.
likely
Well,
dead.
yeah. I mean, we can go for it here, I guess. And just
What do you like casting? Is it the brainstorm or the ponder? Because we're really looking for fetch land, and ponder gives us more looks.
I think it has to be ponder. I mean, the other option you can do is also to just discard end of turn. That's also like another considerable line. We saw Chain of Vapor. Did we see? We didn't see Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm, did we?
No.
Okay.
It's really awkward. I think it's very close between ponder and just discard the
Yeah.
predict maybe. What do you lean towards?
I'm down to discard like a preordain actually.
Sure.
We'll see. And then I don't know how like when we should start panicking, but I just really don't want to. We also saw Pact, yeah. Okay.
I just hate that if our opponent casts a silence, we have to respond to it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. I would probably actually cast the Force of Will if they play silence, but who
I
knows?
agree with that. Our Lotus Petal is very valuable right now.
The trick is to never panic. Damn it, we had that game too locked up, dude. I'm sorry. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I don't know why. Well, I thought Lotus Petal was going to be very good. You know, the other thing that we could have done was just played Underworld Breach that turn. Oh no, but they had the Seal of Cleansing.
Yeah. So we would have just gotten one more monk
Yeah.
/ 2 more damage out of it.
Just wanted the pedal, but after the Spell Pierce? Yeah, that makes sense too. I just didn't think that Spell Pierce was going to be that good. And then, oh, you know what we should? Okay, here's what we really should. The correct play here was to, we didn't necessarily need the Lotus Petal, but we should have definitely played the Orm Chant in response to the LED. There was no reason why we needed to let the turn get any crazier than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, this is great.
Perfect. Nice, easy win. Now we just probably get. Now we just like play it and pass, honestly.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You can even like end step brainstorm and start setting up for like a predict return
predict.
after. And like they have 7 cards in hand, we have 7 cards in hand, and they're.
I think we let that go and predict it away.
Oh yeah, baby, let's get it.
I think that's hilarious.
We'll have to discard again, but that's totally fine.
No, we played a land. We have 7, right?
We're gonna go up to 8 though. Ooh, grinding station. Yeah, I mean I would still mill that because that's 3 more cards that they have to escape.
We can just predict in their upkeep.
That's true too. We need to do it. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm gonna fetch my Tundra right now though.
Mm-hmm. And then from here, I'll let you go through the motions.
Thanks, opponent.
Pretty cool, yeah. The first time I think I've ever done this. Also, I'm pretty surprised that they left in Enlightened Tutor in this matchup. I actually think it's pretty bad in this matchup. And generally speaking, I would cut it because, well,
Card
Enlightened
disadvantage versus card advantage.
Not the kind of investment that you want to make. I'm giddy. I'm so happy here.
Yeah, this is awesome. And we will definitely fight over this, I think.
Oh, we're gonna need to think about that one. Silence. All right. Well, we can just They might be building a stack here that's going to be hard to beat, but you can either force in response or silence. You could so force a will plays around Flusterstorm a little bit better.
Force,
I'll
pitch, brainstorm.
I guess they're both. It's both like 2 for 2 no matter what. So, I probably pitched the ponder because we're gonna draw a lot of cards off this predict potentially. But they could also just have a really good hand here with like. So they definitely have a breach. That's good to know.
Well, they tutored for the no, they tutored for pedal earlier, which was indicative of breach.
And they also and they have grinding station too. So I guess that means they have the full the Trinity, which means okay, breach is 1 card. So then they have 4 other very, very good cards. Yikes.
And so then if they counter back, we can silence.
And then silence when they try for station. We're gonna mill the station though, right, John?
Yeah. So
Yeah. Their pain is our gain. But they could like okay, maybe they let the actually I don't know. We'll see.
So in retrospect, I wonder how good predicting this into the graveyard actually was. If like we've already deduced that they have the breach.
Yeah, so that means what? They're gonna draw another card. They're gonna go to 6 cards in hand. They'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in their graveyard. 1, 2, no 1. Pact of Negation. Oh, please, Orem. I think now we have to Orem's Chant, right?
Okay, hold up though. Do we let the Pact of Negation
Resolve?
resolve so that they have to pay it if they don't make it through this turn, and then chant?
Sure. Yeah.
There's no downside to that, right?
I guess I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, we don't have that much time, so I would just say make a pay. Yeah, whatever you want to do. Letting the pact resolve is always kind of a nice little time bomb, and they know we have the Orm's Chant because we held it up since turn 2, so I'm going to assume that they have something else.
I mean, if they have something else and they can win through it, like,
yeah,
good on them.
Oh, nice. Okay. Never mind.
So now, after all of that, we mill the grinding station.
Yes, and then we well, I guess we don't have to F6, but they can't cast any more spells, so we're fine to. Okay.
No land there and no interaction, unfortunately, and we suspect that they still have the breach. Okay. Just pass.
I would brainstorm here because they have to use their turn on 2, 3 on paying for the pact, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
We're 1 card short, unfortunately. Actually, damn it, I may have been wrong. Maybe we're supposed to just do nothing here, but okay, it looks like we're fine. Put back like a mentor and a flooded strand on top.
Okay.
And then
do we just combo?
Yes. Yep. Kill him. So we have 6 cards in our graveyard, which means we can buy back Lotus Petal twice. Nice. And they may have another silence.
But it would cost them the Lotus Petal and then, like...
Yeah. Why not wait a turn? Oh, I guess they would be tapped out. No, they wouldn't be tapped out. Oh, yeah, they would be tapped. They would be tapped out with no hand. Oh, damn. Teferi bouncing this LED would have maybe... No. Can we still do it? No, we can't do it. Okay, chat, sure.
Okay.
So they have nothing. That's fine. I would just have 6 now.
Yeah, that's fine. So now we just get their
whole hand here, yeah.
That's fine. Then we'll play a mentor on an empty board.
I'm stupid. Actually, Stefan is right. If we just pass the turn, there's no way we lose. Sorry. I'm looking at the clock, Stefan. That's why I'm kind of just like, not really thinking too much about these, but yeah.
So now our opponent can just put breach 2 down though, but not have red for breach in play.
Correct.
So the super big brain play is actually going to be to brain freeze them and take uh
Their best cards.
their breach off of the top of their library. Am I madman? Okay, they've just conceded.
Wait, what? Oh
Pack.
yeah, sure.
Man, I thought
Okay,
that
I'm
game
gonna
was
chop.
going to get so much more interesting. Like I thought we were still going.
Yeah, what are we drawing into? Okay, yeah, they're just like infinitely dead here, but I'm gonna chalk that one up to a 3-0. Not only did we play badly, but we still won, which kind of tells you like
This
what this
deck is
deck is trying
great.
to do. Yeah, exactly.
This deck definitely is going to melt your brain the first couple of times you play it, though.
Oh, it's melting my brain even to this very second.
Also, I think a lot of people who are only playing against Breach have the impression that the deck is very easy, and it's just like, oh, LED, Brain Freeze, Breach, you win. I hope these last two matches have shown that's not the case, and there's actually so much more intricacy to what's going on with the deck.
This is where I'm gonna just mention like the illusion back to like miracles, right? Because like the complexity of miracles, I feel like there's the same level of complexity, like how you want to balance what you're holding up, how you want to navigate the next like 5 turns, that kind of thing too. But you get this random "oops, I win" button in the form of like Yogg Will. So, oh, nice, we're playing against Austin. Who might
Clone, you should probably refresh. Video and sound seems fine on my end. If you just refresh the page.
Yeah, we'll catch you in a second, Austin. We'll see how the. I think Austin said he was testing this list too. I would personally keep this hand in the dark. Force of Will, Spell Pierce is pretty good, and Breach is also pretty good. Plus you've got mana. It seems we do need to draw a little bit of selection, but like we have so many cantrips that like it should be fine.
Okay. I mean, we get to pass turn one with Spell Pierce or Force of Will available to us, and we have Yawgmoth's Will in hand, so.
Yeah, I'd lead with a Scalding Tarn though.
Too bad. Why Scalding Tarn?
If we need to fetch, it just gets a card in the graveyard, random upside, and if we Spell Pierce, there's a world where we can like do some like pretty silly stuff. So
I'm just always about leading on basic lands when I have the opportunity to. Like
yeah,
I'm so honed in on wasteland and anti-wasteland measures that even when
oh, that's
no,
terrifying.
do I just take this?
Yeah, I mean it goes, it resolves. I don't know if we can afford to Spell Pierce this when our hand needs a little bit more work.
Okay. I've taken the brainstorm gambit many times where I've just like smelt the blood in the water and went like, nope, pierce that. Let's go. I mean, it's not the worst.
So like if we do draw Brain Freeze next turn, we have very, very, very good cards in our hand, and we can kill unless they have triple Force of Will or something like that. Interesting, they got Mountain.
So, how often do you cast Underworld Breach when you don't have it, just to see if your opponent will counter it?
Not as often as I cast Silence.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because Underworld Breach is a little bit of a rarity. I mean, with 7 Reclamation in the deck, you could get away with that kind of thing. Okay.
All right.
Maybe they're just discarding. They don't want to discard. Okay, nice. Brain Freeze. Say it loud, Phil. You gotta scream it.
Brain Freeze! Yu-Gi-Oh! Heart of the Cards!
Oh god, where did this go? I'm just kidding. Okay, Ponder is just as good. Certainly would fire it off. Yeah. Yes, I love
The
this.
Brainstorm's good. I guess
yeah.
Pierce is okay.
Yeah, we take the Brainstorm and we never look back. But we do not need the third Underworld Breach for sure. Your friend was talking about how to surgical and yeah, I mean sometimes you do it because like you trade 1 for 1 anyways. I've had that happen to me. Whoa,
Pierce?
that's fine. No, I would let it resolve. The reason I'd let it resolve is because they already missed on lands, and now they're going to go up to 9 cards on their turn.
So they might have to discard if they don't attempt to go off. And if they
Right,
do
so
attempt to go off, we have 2 pieces to fight.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I guess they had. Never mind, I was wrong. Wait, 7? What?
All right.
So I think so. You got a couple options here. You can get a little bit spicy. What's on top of it? There's a spell pierce on top of our deck.
Yeah. Spell Pierce and Breach 3.
Okay. So you've a lot of options here. You can just spell pierce it and see if they pay and just don't have it. You could brainstorm. You could and draw into the spell pierce, or like fetch and then brainstorm, or you could force pitching brainstorm.
So if
Um,
I Pierce, they've already played their land for turn, so if I Pierce and they pay,
they would have to
they
have
would
double
have to
pedal.
have double pedal.
Yeah.
So Pierce seems pretty good, right?
The pierce seems we could try it. That's like playing by fire. Um, my gut reaction says that I personally would consider like fetching and then brainstorming. Um, because if we pierce, well, I don't know. I feel like we can just draw better cards. You know what I mean? Like the second Underworld Breach in our hand is kind of medium. Uh, but then also the other thing to consider is that if we brainstorm into Spell Pierce number 2, we could like Pierce as a pseudo Force of Will. I don't know. This one's tough.
So
My gut would be to fetch and brainstorm, but we're welcome to just like do whatever.
if we just Pierce, they have to have pedal, pedal, breach, brain freeze
In hand.
in hand.
Yeah. Maybe that's just not very likely. Yeah, we could just spell pierce for shits and giggles and see what happens.
I'm piercing.
Okay. You want to call it? You want to make
I'm
them have the
calling.
double? Yeah. I mean, they could also just like yeah. There you go. See, oh, we don't want to draw the. Do we want to draw the second pierce?
We might want to draw the second Pierce now.
If they play one more land next turn, we will. But it can pitch to forcible at the minimum, so that's fine.
I think we draw the Pierce, maybe then fetch and brainstorm.
I like that.
Because we know with 100% certainty that we do not want the top card of our library. So I don't know that I want to brainstorm and look through one card that I don't want.
Yep, sounds good. And I guess you can get whatever volcanic is fine here because worst case scenario, you just okay.
These breaches are so sticky.
Yeah, they are. So
Breach bolt back.
sounds pretty good. You can put the breach on top of the bolt, and then like worst case scenario, like you could try it for a turn. Like we could just like sacrifice one of these breaches to the cantrip cartel gods, to the cantrip cartel just to like buy back like a brainstorm or a pond or something. But we'll just put 2 cards back and then pass, I guess.
Yeah.
This is also one of those situations where you could very seriously just consider what you were saying earlier, which was
Cast a breach as a bluff.
yeah.
So people don't know this because I basically never played on stream, but I've played a decent amount of show and tell in my off time. Just like I'm angry at the world and I would just want to play some Magic and I don't want to spend very long playing Magic. I just like jam some show and tell. So there are so many times where I don't have it and just like turn 3 I'll cast a show and tell and get a counter or 2 out of my opponent's hand. And it's just cheating. Every once in a while, again. I think I make the same play as last turn. Now it can be land plus pedal, so it's a little worse than last turn.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's run it back. We'll see what happens. Oh no, off the volcanic though next time because of we want to represent our own orange chant. Okay. That is not good for us because now we're probably dead.
So if we force the Orum's chant, then they can just kill us anyway because we don't have any interaction up.
Yeah, but I mean, I would do it anyways. I would force the Orange chant anyways.
Okay. And just say like you have to go off into our open mana.
Yeah, the problem is they probably know that we don't have. Damn, tapping the Tundra here is because now they know we don't have the thing available, like a silence effect. But it kind of just is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I like forcing the chant over the spell pierce because it might just feel like clicking no. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
that's fine. Not much we can do there. I guess maybe we could have just fired off an underworld breach to see what's up, but whatever.
So firing off an underworld breach would have gotten an Orum's chant from our opponent, and then we could have potentially forced the breach. Yeah, maybe we were supposed to do my bluff breach play.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's
I just concede here. I'm pretty sure Austin is just playing the same list that we are. So
okay. The only time breach can lose is in the mirror. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, I would board the same way we boarded last time, just a 7 cards in, 7 cards out. I don't know if we want to adjust or anything like that because if it's a 75 card mirror, then maybe something like Lightning Bolt gets a little bit better.
So this was 6 and a wear tear. Was that correct, or did we not board the planes and it was a second wear tear?
Correct. Yeah, 2 wear tears, no planes.
Okay, and we went -2 LED, -2 breach. What else?
Minus the 3rd LED and then -2 bolts.
Okay.
So that's the base plan. Now we could make minor adjustments where we maybe like keep in some number of bolts, like 1 bolt or something like that. I don't know.
So I'm thinking about the mentors on both sides of the battlefield
Mm-hmm.
because I think mentor is kind of this game breaker in
Yeah.
that, like, when you have the pierces, the flusterstorms, the chance, and someone just slams a mentor,
Yep.
the game is totally swung. But tapping out for the mentor at the same time is also dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. This is really tricky. Oh man.
So how often is wear tear actually going to do what we want?
I really dislike wear tear actually. We could even go down to 0 wear tears if you really want, 1 or 0 wear tears.
So what if we
And
did
then just
something like this?
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, maybe that's going to be good. And then just rely on Orum's chant anyways. Because realistically speaking, I don't think our opponent is ever going to go off into a wear tear. They're always going to go for Orum's chant. Unless, I mean, the situation that we just ran into where we tap our white source, force, pitch, force is very, very indicative that we probably don't have anything else just because the combination of cards that we would need to have would be very nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm just worried that, like, wear tear is going to sit in our hand and our opponent is just going to combo off through it cleanly.
Yeah. J-Live, I actually think the 3rd wear chart is better than the 1st Seal of Cleansing just because, I mean, despite being able to E-tutor for Seal of Cleansing is just vulnerable. You know what I mean? This hand is nuts.
Yeah.
Also, in general, when it comes to the mana, I like using the Prismatic Vistas first just because they can't fetch duels later on when we might need them.
Okay, so just get island on 1 and just preordain.
Yeah. All right, they're mulling the 6. That's nice.
We take the freebie. Although we'll probably end up at card equity because I'm probably going to use the Force of Will at some point this game. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Draw Force of Will and then Lavinia.
I think I just top those. Those are so good.
And now we are, as the cool kids say, in the driver's seat, playing tempo, baby. Let's go.
So our opponent may not actually physically be able to beat Lavinia with how they've boarded, right?
Yeah, they do need to adjust accordingly. I don't know. They could like force it. We'll force back for sure.
I would probably force back twice to protect this if it came down to it, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, that one's a little bit trickier. I don't know. If we assume they have no answers, well, they definitely have Teferi in their deck as an answer, assuming that they boarded the way we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But hopefully this resolves and then we just get 2 Force of Wills to mess them up. They don't have the Force. Or they probably don't have double Force.
I'll get in play. Get in play, you wonderful legendary creature, you. Absolutely not. Nice.
And there we go. Now we get to be a little bit foolish, hardy. Um. Oh,
Hmm.
that's pretty good too.
Just
Land.
strand attack pass.
Is there any downside to attacking here?
Opponent should not have any flash creatures that I am aware of.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I would just land pass. Yeah, seems good. 9 turns later.
Probably 8.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Oh, okay. 7.5 turns later.
There we go.
Oh, here's a mentor.
Get out.
Wait. Let's think about this. I think I would actually just brainstorm here first. Um, we do run some risks here, but that's so tricky.
I mean, you get 3 looks at a blue card, but if you miss, we basically lost the game. I
Well,
think.
there's also the upside of us potentially just being able to kill them. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
I would run the risk, but then again, I don't know. You see, here's the thing, Phil. Here's the thing, Phil. When you play this deck, you just have to be confident. You know what I'm saying? You just need to whip out your dick and put it on the table. So let's see you do it. Let's see you whip out. Okay, maybe I'm sounding a bit like too much like a.
All right, Anuraag.
Look, if we lose, we lose. What's the worst that happens? Everybody knows this deck is broken. See, perfect. Now we don't have to draw these shitty lands, and we get to stop this stupid monastery mentor. All is well. All is great.
Oh.
We are pretty low on cards here.
I mean, when worst comes to it, we can just draw another land and just breach and cantrip twice. Like,
Yep. That's pretty good too. I like that. Hopefully, it doesn't come out to that, but you know. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good too.
yeah, I mean that answers the next mentor that our opponent plays.
Man, Lavinia is so good in this matchup.
The bolt also just might clock our opponent. So like if we get another red source, we just like end of turn bolt, then underworld breach bolt.
Yeah, that's true. Whoa, that's kind of funny. Hadn't thought about that.
So real talk, do we just cycle the predict just for another card because bolt breach bolt?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
I think we just played slowly. That's pretty good too. Yeah. So that's 2 damage, 3 damage. That's 5 damage plus they're at 8. And then if we do ever find a red source, that's just a lot of damage. So
I mean, I guess that's happening. I don't know what exactly they're going to get, but
yeah, I mean, it happens. Yeah. You could arguably like predict yourself for them and then try to spike a spell pierce or a cluster storm. But yeah, I'm not about that.
Yeah, but it's super awkward because then I couldn't hold up the silence.
Yeah, exactly. I think silence is just way better. They can't counter it. Well, they have to have flushers from the one of. Mentor, and Seven's Reclamation. Whoa. We give them the Monastery Mentor because we
have the answers to that.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is 5 from graveyard, right? Is that correct?
Actually, let's think about this real quick. Yeah, we give them the Monastery Mentor, but put a stop on their upkeep because we may want to just silence them.
And just take silence as a 2 damage time walk.
Yeah. We don't have like Lotus.
I don't know. Like they just tap out for mentor, right? And they can't force a will to protect it.
That works too, I guess. I mean, they could play like Lotus Petal to make a 1/1. That's like a little bit spooky, but
yep.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. All right, yeah, and then we kill this now. Yeah. So. Oh, and it gets countered by Lavinia too. That's cute. Nice.
Yeah.
Now let's think. Do we want to predict here? My gut says no. Okay, they just
they're just done with us.
Yeah. What's on top of our deck? These are the situations where I peak. Oh, they were so dead. Nice. Okay. Um,
I
so
don't really think they were dead though, right? Because they
no, I don't. No, because
have the
well,
out of like chump blocking for a turn, potentially brainstorming to trade with Lavinia, cast this, get Teferi or Mentor back.
we would never attack, but the potential. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. I that what this means to me is that they didn't board in like lightning bolts, and they basically entombed the rest of their answers to Lavinia into the bottom of the deck. So, not gonna lie, Bolt looked pretty clean there,
it did.
but only because Mentor was a pretty powerful backup plan. Um, I don't know if we can make space for another one though. Really, there
That's
isn't
what I'm
much.
looking at.
Yeah. The only cards we could potentially cut are Intuition, Predict. I don't want to cut Intuition. We could cut one of the mentors actually for another bolt. It's up to you whether you think one is better than the other.
I think
It was clean because of Lavinia. That's fair,
I
yeah.
think Mentor is better than Bolt, and Bolt was elevated by the pressure we had with our bear.
Reasonable. Okay, then we could just run it back like this.
I would be willing to cut a Predict for a Bolt.
So again, I do want to be honestly. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the that's so tough.
Like I understand the theory behind Predict, but like if we take that game as an example, we had in hand our like bolts and mentors. We had our sideboard cards, Bolt, Mentor, Lavinia, and that meant that the Predict plan that is focusing around our cantrips did not line up well. So
Well, we never actually cut any cantrips for the predict or for the sideboard cards, if that makes sense. So it's not like whether or not we had sideboard cards, the predict still would have been bad. You know what I mean?
okay, yeah, that's fair.
We could just run it back. I mean, I'm not afraid to just um. So Louis is suggesting to cut a preordain instead. That's not unreasonable either. Honestly, I'm too lazy to figure out what it is. I'd probably just submit as is and then just yeah, that works.
I have the controls. We're playing
Yeah,
another Bolt. Mentor's
there
really
we
good.
go. All right, this game 3 is no longer in my control. Whatever happens, happens. But it'll be good. Oh wow, this is
This is
nice.
a great hand.
Yeah.
We will take our sweet, sweet time. So the reason I like Bolt is that we're on the draw. Our opponent can leverage their mana better. So their turn 4, they have the option to like cast a mentor before we do with backup. So I think I like the ability to. Yeah, that was potentially unwise, but it's happening now.
I'm eating some chips right now, so that's why. Okay, we got bailed out.
Bottom this, top that.
I would consider top topping actually. We want the third land.
Okay. Yeah, realized immediately after I clicked on that land that it was a horrendous mistake, but it's fine. And I think I just like Strand Pass and just keep making land drops at this point. Standstill when? I think I've probably played Standstill on stream in the last 2 or 3 months. I believe I played that in... Was that in the Stasis deck that I played too? I don't know. There were so many bad enchantments in that deck.
Oh my. Wait, Stasis is a 2-mana enchantment?
It is.
Damn, okay.
You can you can
How do you
enlighten
combo
tutor
with
for it.
Stasis? Is it just like Ralzeric?
To be honest, like we didn't really combo with Stasis. Like there were theoretically ways to do it, but most of the time we just cast Oko and won the game with Oko.
Oh wow. Okay. That's absolutely disgusting. You have the option here to brainstorm or not if you want. We do need to find more white sources to cast more orange chants in the same turn.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with casting the brainstorm here. I don't think it's an amazing brainstorm.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. That is a flusterstorm. Yeah, that is the flusterstorm that is not hitting an orange chant. So maybe that's fine. I guess orange chant is not the end all be all if both players are playing Monastery Mentor, but
that is a white source.
That works. Yeah.
Are we firing off this intuition if our opponent doesn't do anything? I don't think we are, since it's our blue pitch to force, and we're not 1 card away from comboing.
Okay, this is tricky.
I mean, that...
Darn it.
Oh, that's so awkward.
So we could like.
There's some
Just into
there's some really
intuition.
interesting intuition piles here.
So what happens if we intuition for LED sevens reclamation and
Breach.
yeah.
We're missing a brain freeze to go off, but we could
Buy back intuition.
Oh. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in graveyard, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards in graveyard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we would have 6 cards in our graveyard.
Well, we would use an LED, right, to crack our hand.
I'm so sorry. We would have more. You're right. Well,
So it's 1, 2,
6,
3, 4, 5,
7,
6, 7, 8, 9.
and then the draw step is 9. Okay. I would, yeah, I would intuition response here.
All right, getting Tundra Plains.
Yeah, sounds good. So it's preordained brainstorm. The fetches, that's 4, 1 orange chant which we cast before we combo, another orange chant which we cast before we combo, and then we have Forcible, which is going to go to the graveyard. Island, I guess we can play, and then we draw a card for turn. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus intuition. So like 9 in total.
All right, just LED Savine's Breach.
Yes. Might be short 1 card, but I don't know.
Well, we'll figure it out.
I agree.
Hopefully before we start comboing off.
Yep. So like it's kind of interesting, right? So this is really cool because like we were thinking originally about this intuition in a defensive position when we suddenly realized, well, we can just pivot and start attacking them too. You know what I mean? They gave us LED, which I do not think was the correct give. They should have given us Sevens Reclamation, but
well, if they have the pedal so that they can do something defensively.
Yeah, like Class Chant or something like that. That's fine. We have 3 silences, so we play the Flooded Strand here, and then just play Silence and see what they do.
Okay. Or I guess Silence is the worst of these, so we lead on that.
Yeah. They're probably going to crack the Lotus Petal here for something.
I would think.
Yeah. And that's fine.
Okay.
This resolves.
And then we just try again next turn.
Yep.
Just confirming we can't do it now, right? I've already played my land.
Yeah, I mean, once Silence resolves, we are.
Yeah, I was just making. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I don't have a counterspell available. Or Enchant is not counterspell. It is not Veil of Summer.
Yeah. Actually, one thing that was maybe we could actually instead of as they might silence in response to that, and then we get to use one of our orange chants defensively, but that's for next turn, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even know that we will use an Orum's Chant defensively this turn. I think we just take damage unless we are being presented with lethal or like lethal -1 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean, keeping in mind though that we can't actually kick the Orange Chant right now because of
oh, right.
The Plains is in play. We didn't board in the second one.
I guess being on this side of the deck is really important because now I'm realizing how actually choked on colors this deck is. That wasn't something that was quite as apparent to me before today.
Yeah. And this is what you learn when you play the other side of the deck. So
do we know the top card of our library?
We should not. We intuitioned.
Right. So run it back.
I would lead with, well, actually, now that I think about it, try to think if there's any way for us to beat this stuff, but yeah, we should definitely play the pedal first. Louis is right. Damn, I really wish we drew a blue card there because that would have been very, very good.
All right. Play out my land, then chant.
Yes. Although I get the feeling that they've got another one, but can't do much about that, I guess. So. Good call, Louis. Yeah. Island pedal, then chant. Wait, why island pedal? Whoa! Force pitching intuition. Nice. Kill them. That resolves.
Yeah, so we can chant again and then go off, right?
Yeah. And same sort of deal here. Like, if this one doesn't resolve,
We just go for it anyway.
yeah. What's the difference between island pedal and pedal island? Or oh no, you guys are just saying the same thing. Okay, nice. Okay. Nice.
A long pause from our opponent relative to their other pauses this game.
Yeah. All right, they're dead. Nice. I will let you.
Yup.
They typed yikes. So this is gonna be pretty clean. Yeah.
All right, they're not even gonna make us do it.
Yeah. So we cast the LED, sack it for white.
Flash
Flashback
this
Seven's
back, which
Reclamation.
gets us a breach and a land,
Nope,
and then
gets us breach and LED.
Oh right, we do. Yeah, we crack this first. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
And then we intuition for our other combo piece.
Yeah.
The brain
Yeah,
freeze.
Austin, we looked at our opening hand and it was like chant, and we were like, all right, doesn't matter, we're keeping. So yeah.
So things I'm learning. The mana base is more tenuous than I expected. There's actually a very large ratio of fetch lands to actual lands, and this build only has one dual land for each of the secondary colors.
Yeah, I actually struggled with the mana a lot in my original in the E-tutor version. Oh shit. Oh no. Well, it just turns out that our hand is actually like, not unreasonable in this matchup. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep it. This is the Esper Hate Bears guy, JTL.
Dude, all right. F that deck. That deck is utter trash. Unplayable. It is probably going to garbage, like, destroy us.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, that deck is horrendous.
I don't know how we're actually supposed to sequence this stuff.
Well, they have one Wasteland in the main deck and one Wasteland in the sideboard.
Oh, I would not play around one Wasteland then. Yeah. Also, yeah, give us your right, maybe Plateau. So I was testing Plateau. Stefan mentioned that cutting it for a blue land doesn't really make sense. Cutting a blue land for it doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, I'll let you go ahead and make the plays here.
So I kind of like Spell Pierce for holding up Vial because their mana base is a dumpster fire, and if we get rid of a Vial, they make trip over themselves and die.
Interesting.
I have.
In that case, we may want to play out the Flooded Strand instead. I don't know. My gut reaction here is to just like lead with the Preordain or a Ponder
and just try to go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that, but I'll also play out my pedal.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Yes, I like that much more.
Preordain this turn. Ponder next turn.
Yep. Playing the Preordain this turn amps up the power of the Ponder. So. All right. Well.
So that's going to the bottom.
I'd bottom the Flooded Strand as well.
Great.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well, that's fine. It's not a big deal. And if they play Giver of Runes, we have to kill it, I think.
Well, we can kill Giver of Runes at any time because that card is garbage and is not Mother of Runes. So,
true. Very, very good point. Also, I guess Meddling Mage isn't nearly as good as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So since this can't protect itself, we can Lightning Bolt it at literally any moment. And then
So,
do a follow-up.
So we don't need to burn... No. Yeah, we don't need to burn the pedal on it, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not the worst. You can convert our spell pierce on a creature maybe that we don't want to answer. So the preordain is going to be good here.
Yeah, I think we take the preordain, leave LED on top, but probably end up shuffling.
Yeah, I mean we could just
I might just
preordain
shuffle
this turn.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, and just cast the preordain. I like that. The LED we don't really need here because we have the Lotus Petal. If we can just get enough cards in the graveyard, then it'll be able to combo off with our Underworld Reach and our shenanigans. Oh, they play Force of Will in the main deck too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what their list is honestly.
I think I still did. I snap delete it. I think I snap deleted it. It's probably still in my downloads though. JTL. So main deck looks like this. So there's Force of Wills, Meddling Mages.
Okay. Damn, their sideboard is spooky.
The sideboard is super spooky, which is why I think we're gonna get dumpstered.
Yeah, that's fine. It's probably not a good matchup. This seems like humans, but better against combo. But you know, whatever. 7 force of negations. Wow.
Bottom.
Yeah. Okay. These things happen.
Oh yeah, good point. I will need to delete that deck list. Yeah, I'll Force of Will that.
So here's the thing, right? Think about this. I guess we can Force of Will this, but it's kind of funny because if they name Underworld Breach off the Meddling Mage, we can always Sevens Reclamation of the Underworld Breach into play. But it's up to you what you want to do, whatever you want to do.
Right,
I would Force
but
of Will. Yeah.
they don't have the Vial at this point, so we just have 4 Force of Wills as the only cards we could potentially Spell Pierce for the rest of this game. And since we have the Chant in hand already, we can do that on our combo turn.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. Give me 1 sec, Phil. I'm gonna take a phone call. I'll let you play the next few turns out. If you have anything, you can just pause.
Okay. Yep. Well, all right. All right, so our opponent has named the Breach here. Don't like either of those. Nice. So this is a way for us to get the Underworld Breach into play. I would need to be looking for an LED now to do that, though. So I'll go ahead and just pass the turn here.
Okay.
So
yeah. So if we draw Intuition, we're happy, I guess.
Yeah. So we can either get Intuition to put the Breach into our graveyard, or we can get LED and draw a Breach and build it that way. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes. Okay, actually, and what is in their graveyard? What did they exile with the Force of Will?
Strix.
Strix. Okay. Do they have any cool 3-mana creatures to put in, like Recruiter of the Guard, but like 1 Flicker Wisp?
Yeah, they have a Flicker Wisp, Soul Herder. So like the 3-drops that they have aren't threatening to us like it is in D&T. So like we don't need to worry about like Sanctum Prelate coming in.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good for us actually. So then Vial is largely just like a Solitaire kind of card. Nice. Okay, Brain Freeze is very good for us.
Do we just... So we take a Brain Freeze, and then we can...
I'm pretty happy milling ourselves for 6 here. I don't know if that's perfect or not.
So we can go deeper. I can Bolt the Giver and just...
Technically, you could. Yeah, that's 9 cards, and we don't actually even need to flashback Sevens Reclamation. Yeah, I'm down with that.
I think it just gives us the greatest chance of actually winning the game next turn.
Okay, yeah. Use the Volcanic for the...
Nope. We're well, it doesn't matter, right? Because we're Brain Freezing anyway, so we're like using the mana either way.
Okay. Just in case they force this, but then we would we still Brain Freeze ourselves? I guess we would. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be getting even more cards, right?
So in the strangest world, it was actually correct to crack the pedal, maybe? I don't know.
Come on, get in there, Breach. Get in
Do
there.
it.
Get in there. Yeah!
Hey, that's what I'm talking. That's the confidence. Yeah, last card. All right. See?
All right, Anuraag, this
Man,
deck
you're
is stupid.
getting it. I agree. Now we just need to draw like a white source and win. And honestly, like we just jam. You know what I mean? Like, I guess if we don't draw the white source, but there's a Lotus Petal on top of our deck too.
Yeah,
so
our
it's
opponent
like,
has one
they have-
card now, so they have to. No, they
Yeah,
don't. They don't have
okay,
main deck
they're-
Force of Negation. That's
Get 'em,
sideboard.
yeah. Yep.
I'm just gonna double check to make sure there's nothing stupid. Brazen
Honestly, I wouldn't-
Borrower would be the
Okay.
only thing, or the one of Cling to Dust.
Yeah, we beat Brazen Borrower too because we'll so the sequence, so we get back the Underworld Breach and immediately cast the Lion's Eye Diamond.
Yep. Okay. All right. So we target our breach, and we go. Don't cling to dust me. It'd be so embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate that
that
card so much. I think it's garbage.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So LED, and this is sort of going back to what I was saying earlier, which is basically you always want to lead with casting your LED because you can respond to the rest of your deck in other ways. You know what I mean?
Okay. So now the first time, do I just crack for white and Orum's Chant? Like, is there any?
So this time around, what I would consider doing is cracking the LED for blue.
Okay.
And then recasting it, and then you get to play around, cling to dust in case they messed up.
Sure.
Yeah. See, Louis, it's like you're an expert with this deck. I really like that. And then we can get rid of. Don't get rid of the Flusterstorm, because that's a castable card within reason. But something like the Force of Wills are not castable. You know what I mean?
Sure. All right. Force.
Or actually, you know what? Oh yeah, the Flusterstorm. Keep the Fluster because it plays around Petty Theft.
All right. So now I can crack for white, and I have plenty of resources, right?
I wouldn't even bother cracking for white. I would just brain freeze ourselves now.
Okay.
You should just pick it up. I mean, you're basically speaking the language, you know, and it seems like you've already been picking up what we're putting down. So that's good. So this is where we can practice a little bit of. Oh, and now we have lightning bolt as well. Okay, that's beautiful. So if they petty theft, we could just also bolt the meddling mage.
Nice.
So yeah, I will let you continue this. And then remember, the loop is to cast LED first and then brain freeze. We always want to have enough mana floating to cast brain freeze at instant speed. Oh, that's a very good point, actually. We don't want to actually mill them proactively into cling. You're right.
So we want to make sure we have lethal storm when we do mill them.
It doesn't have to necessarily be lethal. Like what we could do is we could go like we could generate like let's say like 8 storm and then just go brain freeze you with 6 mana floating. Okay, my last copy of brain freeze resolves, immediately brain freeze you again. Okay, my last copy resolves, immediately brain freeze you again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So actually, how many? Yeah, we could just target ourselves one more time and then just see what's up. Yeah. Wait, Louis, you went 9-0 at Eternal. What was it? Was it you went undefeated at Eternal Weekend, or was it like you were like first seed or very very high up? I remember you did really really well in the Swiss. You took a loss to Tom Ross, or Tom someone else. Yeah, you were first seed. Okay, I thought so. Yeah. And now we can just crack for. Oh yeah, I guess technically you could also just Orange Chant to prevent any clings. But yeah, now we can just brain freeze them to death. Why didn't he name brain freeze? Very good point. Underworld Breach was the wrong name, I guess. Brain freeze would have been a lot more difficult to deal with. But then Arkin, what would happen is we would just find a second. We'd find like red mana and then just like bolt the giver because it's not Mother of Runes, and then bolt the meddling mage with with our stock graveyard, and then brain freeze and kill them. That's actually true too. If you don't want to brain freeze them, you could bolt them 6 times too. We have the tools.
It's okay. For the post sideboard games, we have to keep in mind they have the Emrakul in their sideboard.
Do they really?
I'm not kidding you.
Wow, that's just such a waste of a slot, but I love it, and I can't wait till we win through the Emrakul. I'm just like so excited.
Get brain freezed.
The year is 20XX. Phil and Anuraag are still in their stream, playing against the mighty legend JTL005.
Who won't concede to very, very lethal combo, but that's okay.
The post-board games begin. Phil and Anuraag confidently look at their turn 1, but they pass to play around Force of Negation. JTL says, all right, I'll play my Aether Vial and pass. The turn is 5. Aether Vial ticks up to 5. All is lost. I guess that technically doesn't work. The turn is 6. Aether Vial ticks up to 5. It's over.
Whee!
Wait, no, but that is seriously so ridiculous that they can actually like vial the Emrakul into play.
It's theoretically possible.
I have no data on how to sideboard for this matchup. I'll be very straight up with that. But
So,
because they're
like,
so hateful,
we can just look at their deck list. They have Force of Negations, Deafening Silence. So they have a small package of Rip, Canonist, Rest in Peace, 3 Force of Negations, a Fairy, and like Cage and Relic Warder.
Yeah.
And maybe Emrakul.
Definitely. I would. Oh, I guess it's also good against Sneak and Show. I would definitely board in the Mentor package, the Swords to Plowshares. The Plane seems like it's gonna be pretty good because it'll allow us to cast multiple white spells in a turn. Do you think? Yeah, I guess we want 2 Wear Tears.
There's Cage and Vial, and
Yeah.
Canonist and Deafening
And
Silence.
Lavinia seems very good in the matchup where they have 7 forcible effects.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know it doesn't attack or block profitably, but it shuts down their primary form of it. Well, one of
But
their
like 3 of those 7 are hard castable pretty easily.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe
This
you're right.
This seems loose to me.
Okay. Well, we can come back to that one. Then the
So-
next few cards to consider are whether we want the silences. I actually think Orange Chant's going to be pretty good in this matchup because when they have this many like on the stack answers, I actually think Orange Chant's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
But cards we definitely don't
So
want
are we doing like same thing where we start by
Yeah.
trimming 2 of those?
See, you're a natural. You get it. Spell Pierce is going to be pretty bad, as well as Flusterstorm. And I would probably also just cut another LED because when I get lazy, I tend to cut LEDs. I don't think Forcible is going to be really that good in this matchup. You could
Okay.
cut the Lavinia and the Forcible,
And like 1 Force?
but like Forcible can't be that good, can it? Like, do you think it wouldn't Silence be better? Maybe we can. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you. I think Lavinia might be better than Forest. Honestly, can we just try it out? Because you know what, we're in we got our money back. I mean, we got hella value out of the stream already. Thanks to everyone who's just hanging out here chilling. We can just like submit it as is. If we win, we win. Bleh. If we win, we win. We lose, we lose. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess we keep this. It's not necessarily doing anything impressive now, but we have an answer to the first pair.
I agree. And the way I actually envision this game going is going to be okay. Well, that's miserable, but sure.
All right.
Yep. So just land Lotus Petal Pass, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I so I think this was the most recent stream I did. I played with that deck.
Okay.
And the deck trips all over itself so frequently. The mana base is very bad.
Yep.
Yeah, that resolves, and I'll just bolt it.
Yep.
The mana base is very bad. It's actually very hard because you have like blue, black, white, blue, 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 white, white.
Bolted now because we don't actually have equity in terms
Off
of
off
well,
Volk and just don't play around the wastelands.
damn it, I'm wrong. Maybe we should wait for a scarier hate bear potentially, but whatever. I think we have
Yeah,
yeah.
I think we're just getting that thing.
Yeah.
Like we can potentially get through it.
Ooh. Damn.
That's
All right.
interesting.
I'd probably brainstorm here. I don't really think we want to be casting intuition just yet. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty good. Putting back what planes and something else.
Are we just is it just Lavinia at this point? Or are we keeping that to play around?
We can put Lavinia on. I think she might actually be decent in this spot, but
Let's put her on top and decide whether or not we want to fetch her away later.
okay.
And we can play Flooded Strand intending to get either Island or Tundra.
Yeah. The thing is if we use Lavinia as like a hymn to Torok, I'm also pretty happy with that. So, but you are right in that they have a decent number of lands in play already. One more land means. All right, if they like wasteland us, then I think we definitely do it. Well, then we maybe play the Lavinia out, but maybe not. I don't know.
Kubels makes an interesting point in chat that maybe my opponent named wrong with their meddling mage, and they should have just named something like Wear Terror or Serenity that would have answered the deafening silence in the first place.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess we shuffle away the whatever.
Yeah, we won't draw that, but I don't think it's worth brainstorming right now.
Mm.
Right?
I agree. They're probably gonna get like another meddling mage or something like that, or some kind of like hoser for the deck. I don't know.
I mean, I feel kind of like meddling mage plus wasteland next turn is very good from them. Soul Herder. Really? Okay. I don't know the rest of your hand. So Anuraag, do you like leaning into the wasteland by getting the Tundra or trying to play around by just getting a basic at this point?
They have 2 wastelands in their deck.
Yeah.
YOLO.
That was also my thought. Okay. That's not bad. How many wear tears did we board in?
Sorry?
2? We boarded in 2 wear
we
tears,
may
right?
want to. Yeah, I think we brainstormed this turn and then Swords to Plowshares if we need to on the Recruiter next turn to stop the engine. I don't know if that's good or bad, but there's also a world where Force Will is pretty bad here because of Deafening Silence.
Is our intuition also just bad at this point? Like, it's really interesting with this, but we might need just all these cantrips to try to find the answer to this.
You could just put back the Brain Freeze, too. I'm not really married to the Brain Freeze here.
So, like, this is going back.
Yeah. The thing with Intuition is that it can get cards that we can put back into play off Seven's Reclamation. So I kind of actually like it. And if we need, like, a Hail Mary, we can get, like, Wear Tear, and Teferi.
Or...
You know what I mean?
We can get weird and get, like, Mentor, cast Mentor, Following turn,
Mm-hmm.
Savine's Reclamation back a second mentor and just try to cantrip our way one turn at a
Yeah,
time to victory.
that's pretty tight as well too. We could do that too. Yeah,
So is it the Brain Freeze that goes back?
I think so.
All right.
What's the brain freeze going to do for us? You know what I mean?
Nothing until
This
this
game,
is answered.
yeah,
All right.
this game is all about beating the deafening silence, right? So brain freeze does nothing for that, and I think the other cards are just strictly better. Maybe I don't know. But I also don't know if we're supposed to. Oh, damn it! You know what? Maybe we're supposed to keep the festival then. If the intuition resolves, but I don't know if it does. Do you plow the recruiter of the guard or no? On their
Well,
turn?
if they cast the
Or, we'll pass your turn, by the way, so we don't lose clock quality because we can't cast any more spells this turn. But
so if our opponent casts the Soul Herder, we can actually just remove the
Mhm.
Soul Herder instead of the recruiter.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm dumb. Okay, makes sense. You're so smart. Holy crap.
Well, I know all the cards on the other side of the table pretty darn well.
Yeah, I honestly, they're like smaller Konami S cards to me. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, like anytime I randomly stream with like a Veil of Summer, I'm like, okay, how does this card work again? Which parts do I care about now that I'm playing this blue deck?
Yeah.
It's really weird the amount of like compartmentalization of knowledge I have as a legacy player, where I know absolutely perfectly everything that I need to know, and then the things that I don't need to know for my purposes are just like, nope, I have not internalized that.
Yeah,
So-
that's my life too.
So, for example, did you know that Carpet of Flowers targets?
Yeah, it targets twice, in fact. So Leovold absolutely destroys it. I only
Sure
know this because I
does.
recently got Carpet of Flowers. Yeah, I recently got played Carpet of Flowers. So okay. Underworld Breach, please. Well, oh, they're hesitating. Damn, they're hesitating.
They're
Okay,
thinking.
so they're evolving. They're adapting. Oh god, it's the zombie horde. This isn't even the good art for meddling mage too. Like, damn. I feel like if your deck is all about main decking meddling mages, you may as well like
Get some
play
Pakulas in there. Yeah.
exactly, or at least the Alara one, right? This is objectively the worst of the three. Wait, the other one is from Alara, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Just want to make sure. Opponent loses to Torpor Orb Trial. What is the Hushbringer? Is that the new card?
Hushwing Griff.
Hushwing Griff.
That's
No, but Hushbring. What is Hushbringer?
ooh, Swords to Plowshares
That's
this
the-
time. Okay.
That's unfortunate. But I would just intuition maybe then. I don't know. We'll see what they do, I guess. Oh no. Well, now we can brainstorm.
All right.
Oh, actually, is there anything that we can cast in response to this? Maybe.
Our Pierces are boarded out.
Well, Pierce isn't even gonna. It's. I guess it's. Do we want to cast brainstorm or intuition right now? Because they can't respond for the rest of the turn.
I mean, are we basically in on a mentor plan at this point? And we just need to like get a mentor, put a mentor into play on their turn, and then try to go wide of their board.
Sure, that seems fine. But then we're down to one last mentor, and if their hand is Force of Will, we're in a little bit of trouble. But we could just take that risk. You know what I mean?
I think if they have Force of Will in addition to 3 hate pieces, we're already
In trouble. Sure, let's do it. I'm down. You
uh
have convinced me.
Island, I think.
They have Wasteland, so we may want the plains.
Yeah, I guess we'll still be left with. We could go down to
Blue.
1 blue source. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, we're only casting 1 spell a turn anyway, so it's like not the worst. But
I'm gonna get Island.
if you want to get, if you want to get it, you can go ahead and get it. So we have to get triple mentor here, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have options to try to answer board.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna take a quick look, but I don't think Teferi is good enough.
No, it's
So.
not. Yeah, I agree.
This is where we just get plague engineered and get savaged by a
yeah,
different
that's-
situational one of.
No, Phil. This is where we get plague engineered and we destroy them with lightning bolt. It's just that easy. Destroy them with the one of lightning bolt that's left in our deck. You hear me?
Yep.
I think we actually may have made a mistake bolting the first meddling mage, but I'm also just like not against it. You know what I mean?
All right. Jam.
Swerve. They didn't really seem too worried, but this is our best highest EV play from this point on. I think. Okay, nice. So here's where like having the Force of Will would be kind of cool.
But I think we're only here because everything else has gone wrong.
Well, it's very. Well, the thing is, okay. Well, just I don't know what direction I'm going in with that thought, but their deck is designed to make everything go wrong, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What is this? Soul Herder? Sure, I guess. Oh, we knew about that one, yeah.
Yep.
So I guess they tutor up Plague Engineer here?
The question is whether or not that's still in the deck.
Oh, it probably is, but yeah, it would. I mean, I would be very surprised if it wasn't, but yeah.
Well, whether or not they're playing around the Mentor sideboard plan is.
Although I guess awkwardly enough. Nah, never mind. How big does Soul Herder usually get? Pretty big.
I mean, usually if you get about 2 Soul Herder activations and you get to play out those cards, you just win the game. So.
I see. Equipoise, huh?
So like if you look at the bullets that are in this deck, if you get a like Soul Herder plus Recruiter activation 1 or 2 times, you can often do devastating things to like fair or unfair decks. Like getting 2 Meddling Mages in a row, or like a Plague Engineer and a Peacekeeper, or a Plague Engineer and a Palace Jailer versus a fair deck is just gross.
So after seeing, so they have Silence, Rest in Peace, and Cage?
Deafening Silence, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of their Enlightened Tutor package. So they have Rip, Canonist, Deafening Silence, E-Tutor, Cage as a package.
Oh, and Canonist?
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think we need more hate, more Artifact Enchantment.
More Serenity.
Hate. Yeah, Serenity might not even be that bad, actually, yeah. I mean, we can't cast Serenity on there at instant speed, but... I think that's also just not the worst.
Alright, they do still have the Plague Engineer in the deck.
Sure. Wastelanding our red source, because they named... Okay. Well, Brainstorm it is, then.
So do we have a Force of Will in this main deck still?
We have 2.
2. Okay.
So we can put back Stebbins Reclamation, and...
We can also put back our double dead Swords to Plowshares.
Probably like 1 and 1, because there's a world where we draw into Lightning Bolt or something.
Sure.
Yeah. And we also need the requisite mana to do it as well, but yeah. And so we have to get a Plains here probably, and then pass.
Do we... Oh, no, we don't do anything else.
Yeah.
The Fun Police are here.
Yeah, I will say, I don't know, if the game gets out of hand, we may want to consider also just putting together time for the next one, but I don't know how we're going to pass the Soul Herder, though. That card is the one that's really scaring me.
So, like, we can counter this, but then do we...
I just pitched the Brain Freeze.
Yeah, I'm going to force this pitch Brain Freeze.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Force pitch Brain Freeze, and then F6. Oh yeah, and don't forget to stack triggers automatic. Yep, perfect. You're learning.
Yay!
The Tundra Mage New is coming out, Phil. This is a beautiful moment. Such a beautiful moment. Now they can't attack. Nice.
So this is kind of the problem here, though, I think. Because now they just get some other bullet, which I assume is just going to be another Meddling Mage.
Oh, they have 2? Damn.
Alright.
That one's pretty good.
All right,
when do we get to start attacking?
Never?
Damn.
I think it's never.
Makes me a little bit sad. Lightning Bolt or Teferi, I guess, would not be the worst either. Do we keep Teferi in? We should probably cut Teferi.
If we're... Oh. What the Did you
Fibble
do
Fib?
see this? Do you
Nice.
see this right now?
I respect that card so much. I respect it.
Alright. I think we concede for clock here.
Yeah, sure. I'm down. Okay, so let's look at the
let's
sideboard.
reevaluate.
Yeah, so Teferi should definitely go because I don't think it's very impactful against a board of creatures.
I also think this probably
yeah.
goes.
Lavinia is incorrect. I also agree. I don't particularly like her.
So that could be 2 Serenities.
I think the third Wear Tear is going to be better than the first Serenity just because it's 1 mana and it's an instant and we don't need to like wait for it to reload or anything like that.
Sure, sure.
And then other considerations involve maybe we could also cut these Force of Wills. I mean they're good against they're good against like the silver bullets. I don't know where else they're good.
I mean, what would we be bringing in instead? So, like, Force of Will, at least in theory, answers everything.
Yeah. Maybe we want one more Force of Will. Is there anything else we can cut? Oh, the other thing that we could... No, I don't think the combo is going to work against them because they have so many Force of Wills, so they're definitely going to be, like, ready. Oh, man, this is... Yeah, maybe we just... Oh, you know what? We could also cut some Predicts if we wanted to for more Force of Wills.
Like yeah, I don't know that we have time to be predicting.
Yeah, I agree because we need to be able to find. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I like this more. Okay, let's get it.
Fibble Fip is it's an appropriate card for this deck considering how questionable the entire thing is.
yeah, right.
I loathe this deck, and I love Vile decks, but like,
but this deck makes you feel things. I agree.
I raged about this deck when I was done playing it the other day.
Hey, I like that apology. Mean mugging, exactly. Mean mugging. All right, so I think we are... The only other card that I would maybe consider is like the last Serenity, but maybe that one's better than another Force of Will. I don't know.
I just feel like our slots are pretty tight here.
Yeah, and I don't want to like I don't want to glut on like cards that do nothing, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, that's pretty good.
I think we have to keep this.
Yep.
What are we doing turn 1 with the Scalding Tarn?
I would probably get a Tundra, but if they have
Tundra or...
Yeah, it's definitely not... I don't think we're going to get the Volcanic Island here. Okay. It's either Tundra or Island.
I think we don't play around the 2 of Wasteland initially.
Sure, that's fine. Although I will say that this kind of telegraphs that we have Source to Plowshares, but you know what? That's also... Okay, these are good. Yeah, take the blue card if we need to force something, and then Plains on underneath. Yeah.
Do I play this?
Nah, we may want to brainstorm it back.
Okay.
We'll and I don't know. Oh, I guess they could have like Deafening Silence. Maybe they have Deafening Silence. Oh, no, but it has to resolve. Okay, cool. Plow past the turn. Wow. Oh, sure. Now I think we just play land go.
Okay.
They might have like a turn to something. They definitely probably don't have Wasteland. Yeah, Wasteland seems so rough with blue-white out of Meddling Mage.
With blue-white out of Meddling Mage, blue-black out of Baleful Strix, white-white for Flicker Wisp, white-blue for Teferi. The mana base is atrocious.
I see. And there are no rainbow lands because you can't rainbow your way into...
Correct. Because you're not just playing creatures, you're also playing things like Force of Negation that you want to hardcast. And so
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna hate on this deck more. So go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, Min, I don't think volcanic is correct because of Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares is far more instrumental for us than, important for us than the Breach. We just happen to run into planes, but I guess maybe having two planes in the deck means that getting the volcanic is a little bit better, but I don't know. Wow, just
No
nothing?
turn 2 play either.
Okay, well that's fine.
Just go to my turn.
Yeah, and then brainstorm if we don't draw land. Oh shit! Kill him! Damn
Nope.
it! No! All right, brainstorm and kill him.
We would like to find red land. We would like to find red land plus blue spell, which we did not do.
That's fine. We can just put back breach. Sorry, not breach. We can put back the two cards.
The 2 wear tears.
Yeah, and then play our land and shuffle. Darn, we were this close to glory.
Do it. I don't actually go for it, right? Like I wait a turn to try to find a blue card or cast
yeah,
silence.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I think we want the Orm's Chant though, dude. Right, man? Because we're gonna cast the Orm. Like they did this because they don't have anything. Oh wow, they're just gonna discard here. And then depending on what they played, if they played nothing this turn, I would definitely fetch to get a red source,
Yeah.
and then try to high roll the blue card. And like the truth is also like, how many brain freezes did we cut? 2 of them?
Yep.
Oh yeah, okay. I guess never mind. We can't do the line that does the stuff and things.
I like the part where they're not pressuring us.
Me too.
Yes.
Nice mulligan.
God, Giver of the Runes is such a trash Magic card. I fucking hate that card with the fury of 1,000 suns.
All right, sing it with me.
Blue
card. Blue card. It's there.
I mean, we just chant instead.
Yeah, we just chant and they die. Nice. And they have to force a negation here. Nice. Force of negation pitching Baleful Strix. I think they might have another Force of Will.
Yeah, I'm willing to just pass the turn and do it again.
Yeah. All right. The other thing that you could do is if you want to high roll again, you could Orm's Chant on their turn because they're trying to play a creature here. I don't know what that creature is going to be, but
Orm's Chant on their turn is kind of weird though. Like they haven't played a Hate Bear up until now.
Yeah, I think the reason that they may be like sandbagging the Hate Bear and they want to just like untap the Giver of Runes, but okay, sure. I don't think we can afford to force this, so whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and now we just have to burn the plow and the Giver of Runes. Yes. The other thing we could do is, yeah, I mean, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. We can look to brain freeze ourselves at some point, maybe.
It's a shame you can't protect yourself like a good Magic card.
That's funny.
Yeah, like after Ren and 6 got banned, like you have no excuse to be playing a Giver of Runes in Legacy.
I'm not 100% sure why, but okay. Yeah, so we can just pass the turn here, and then I think we could even like brain freeze ourselves. I guess we could have just gone for it on that one turn, but
Do you like freezing ourselves here?
yeah, maybe that's good because we can hit like that's only 3 cards. Never mind. Yeah,
okay.
Pass.
So on some turn where they actually cast a spell.
Okay, pass. Yeah.
If they fetch, I kind of want a bolt right here.
Yeah, do it now. 100%. Yeah, you're right. Get
While hardcast Force of Will is not available.
Boo.
I think opponent is realizing that they don't have 5 mana.
Maybe. No, I think they're just trying to figure out how to tap for a stupid card. What is it called?
Reason Borrower.
Force negation. And it is up to you what you want to do here. I would just let it go, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
We do have a lot of... Now we can brain freeze ourselves for some pretty good value. Do we need the bolt to kill them? I don't think so. Because we can just brain freeze. Oh, shit. How many bolts? We have 2 bolts, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's annoying, but it,
Okay,
it just gets bigger.
Yeah, brain freeze ourselves for a billion cards here, and maybe we hit 7's Reclamation.
Actually, I should let that resolve first.
Yeah. All right, Daddy, let's get it. Yep. Same targets. Woo. Okay. Okay. They're dead? Nice.
All right. So just do we have Orm's
Do we
Chant
need to
mana?
play around do we need to play around surgical extraction? YOLO, just do it. We don't have time. We don't have time. We have to bolt them out anyways. Yeah, so. Okay, yeah.
So now I just crack for white for Savine's Reclamation, right?
Crack for white, flashback, get back, mentor, and underworld breach. Just click your white mana. And yes. Oh, actually get back LEDMs. Oh no, mentor. Okay, and then right click stack abilities automatically. Actually, you know what? Fuck, we might time out because of this, but yeah, play this. We won the game, so even if we don't get the 5-0, I don't particularly care. I'll leave it up to you. Just brain freeze yourself to oblivion and then lightning bolt them a bunch of times if you have the thing to do it. Sacking for blue along the way. I'll be quiet while you do this.
I mean, you can keep talking.
Okay.
Because you know I just need to do this.
Yeah, and just don't even think about
Why are these not going on the stack?
Yep, seems pretty good. Oh, really? It's still causing issues? Yeah, no worries, Colby. I hope you
Thanks, Moto.
yeah. It's weird that it's constantly never mind. Come on, Jeff, scoop! Ah, he doesn't have to. There's 0 entitlement here. But he better not say he beat Breach though.
I might need to just mail him out and hope the Emrakul is not there.
The other thing you can do is just make a million monks. Just brain freeze target yourself immediately. Oh, no. Wait, where's our other lightning bolt? Oh, sure. I guess whatever.
Oh, this is so annoying. I have clicked stack automatically.
Click the right one. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with that. Target yourself 3 times and then target them the rest. Okay, yeah, whatever it is. Honestly, what you should do here is just brain freeze, target them, and then F6, and then just hit, because you have enough storm, and then just say YOLO, whatever, hope we draw some stuff. Click the brain freeze first, And then click the rightmost mentor. Okay. F6 and then, yeah,
Okay.
same targets. Yeah, I think I may have also cost this one too. I mean, I think it's correct to play the mentor here. Technically, like in paper, I would do it, but
Oh, yeah, and if I had another minute of clock.
yeah. Oh, wait, they don't have Emerald Pool.
Oh, great.
Okay. Nice.
Cool. Whew.
Okay, all right.
All right, we got one more to go.
I did not think we would. So wait, Clone, what was the thing that you were talking about, by the way? Storm trigger. Yes, actually, Phil, the way we should have done it is exactly as Louis said. Click the brain freeze first, then click the rightmost make a monk trigger, and then let all the prowess triggers. They'll automatically automatically go onto the stack. But hey, dude, nicely done. Your first breach league, and you're undefeated.
All right.
How does it feel?
Feels pretty good, but also like my brain's melting.
I know. Isn't this the greatest feeling in the world? You're absolutely dead inside, but your opponents are dead too. Let's go. This is where we need to end the stream so that or this is where I join the queue so that we have like the 4-0 breach versus the 4-0 breach. I'm just kidding.
So there was that whole thing back when the Legacy League, or when league payouts were a little bit better, where people were like trying to join the leagues at the same time and queue into each other and then concede to each other.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Did you ever read about that?
No, actually, I don't think I did. I don't know. Was it on like some like Reddit thread or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I gotcha.
Yeah, there were a couple of people who were just like using the EVs of the old 5.0 system to like get a whole bunch of accounts playing Moto at the same time. And I think it was in Pauper where like almost no one was playing. So you would see these Pauper decks of like 40 island or 60 islands 5-0ing just because people were trying to abuse the system via intentional concessions. It was weird.
Hey, I'll be right back in like 15 seconds.
Okay, sounds good. Chad, I hope you have enjoyed things tonight. Sorry I haven't been interacting with you much. I've had to use most of my mental energy to kind of keep up with Anuraag and everything that's been going on over here, but I really hope you are enjoying. At the end here, I'm going to like go back and take a look at my subs and such for tonight because I know I have certainly gotten some, but I have not been paying attention to my alerts. So Vivaris, Vash, Beetrout, Snazzle, Unenthusiastic, Guthrie, Jeff Sinforth, The Big T, Norel El Presidente, SWD, JR, Trenton Baker, Corono. Corono, thank you very much for the subscription, by the way. Very much appreciated. Alamist and Beyond Sadistic. Thank you all. Oh, dang it. I didn't accept my match. We'll try again. Thank you all for following and or subscribing tonight. It is very much appreciated, and sorry for not recognizing all of that earlier. The breach stuff is so crazy. Yeah, Arkin, we're going for that 5-0. By the way, definitely like the rebranding. That's something that I've recently done myself, so good job on that.
Sorry, I just did about 50 push-ups because I wanted to get the adrenaline flowing through my body. Oh no, it's Tony Scaponi. We're dead. It's over.
Why is it over?
This is the madman I have never beaten playing Miracles. He has crushed me so many times with turn 1 Delver, flip revealing Stifle, turn 2 Counterbalance.
What?
Uh-huh.
Are we serious right now?
Oh yeah. We keep this hand though. This hand is very good.
Good luck, Phil. You too. Yeah, I just looked at one of their most recent lists, and sure enough, it is Delver and Counterbalance at the same time.
It's so disgusting. And Stifle too.
And Stifle? Great.
Oh yeah.
So are we,
fun time.
So are we fetching for Ponder now, or just passing?
I mean, they could maybe not be on Stifle, but I smell Stifle with every inch of my soul here. I'd play the Flooded Strand and pass. I want that 5-0. I'll play dumb. Damn it. Stifle. Oh, fetch now. Fetch now. Yeah.
So for anyone who thinks that this is ridiculous, um, when you are playing against a Delver player, if you can play around the Stifle and make it so that you have stable mana and you can actually cast your spells, preferably cast your spell through like Daze and Pierce and stuff, you would just have so much of a better chance of actually winning the game.
Wow. That's incredible.
No pressure here.
Yeah.
Which is
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. You could. There are a couple things you could do here. You could pass, or well, they don't have another land, so I guess you could just. You could just pass here, or you could fight through the stifle with the Flusterstorm, or you could just play the Ponder and hope nothing happens. Um,
I think I like Ponder and then maybe fetch in my upkeep so I can fight with Fluster.
if the Ponder's bad, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And if they daze this, then you just let the daze result. Oh, that's very good.
That's amazing. Yep.
Yeah, when you want both of those brainstorms.
Yeah, so now I don't even have to think about fetching.
Mm.
Well, I'll do it on my next turn in all likelihood after I've drawn the second.
Okay, what's going on? AK in. All right, I would fetch here for planes. Look at this guy. This guy is like taking miracles and just like doing everything great with it. Like, and I say this from a position of like both happiness and sorrow, because on one hand, like,
oh, that's amazing.
That's pretty good too.
So, real talk, do we just like Jam a Teferi?
Nope. I think we just pass and brainstorm.
Okay. Max, we have the combined power of me and Anuraag. How would we not be undefeated?
I don't know about that, dude. I think the combined power of Phil is undefeated, and then Anuraag is just there to drag him down. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we haven't even lost a clock after spending 5 minutes talking about how to resolve a brainstorm or a ponder on multiple different occasions.
There you go. Yeah, we can brainstorm. I think this probably makes sense to do this now. Okay, we could put back.
Well, at least one of these breaches is going back.
I agree. Now, the question is whether we want to... No, so now we can't even really fetch on our upkeep, right? I guess we could untap upkeep fetch.
We also have this predict.
Yeah, we could fire that one off too, yeah. But... If we go untap upkeep... Well, we're definitely putting 2 breaches back, and I don't think there's anything else we can do this turn.
Okay. So
put a stop on the upkeep though, but yeah.
So is it better to fetch or better to predict?
We're gonna draw to 8 cards.
And we know that one of them is not a land, and we don't currently have a cantrip. So I think it's better to actually just fetch.
I would fetch too, and then maybe like Force of Will to protect it.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm down to Force Pitch Force here. And I guess you're going to get the mountain here.
Yeah, what a madman, the opponent. The Stifle, Wasteland, AK, presumably Counterbalance, presumably Delver deck. So now I can fluster this.
Aye, Captain. Yes. So that puts...
It's 4 copies, so...
Yeah, 3 and 1, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, so this targets Force.
No! Cancel! Oh, no. Wait. Did you accidentally target... Yeah, you accidentally changed the target of one Flusterstorm to Flusterstorm.
Okay, how do I undo that?
I don't think you can undo it. You just have to click the Force a couple times. And then pay for the Flusterstorm.
Okay, so where... So what do I want to click? So this
That
is
click
this
there.
force of will.
Click that force of will. Yes.
Okay. No.
Or sorry, hit same target. Same target. I'm sorry.
So this is targeting the force of will. So now I click same targets.
Yes. Yeah. The same target will
Okay.
always go to the first one. And then you just have to put all of them on the thing.
Okay. So I have 1 targeting force, 2 targeting force, 3 targeting force.
Yeah. And then you have
So,
one target in
okay.
your Flusterstorm. So yeah. You will have to pay for one of your own Flusterstorms. These things happen.
Yup, MTGO is great.
No, Max, we could not have flustered the stifle because Storm is 2 or 1. Sorry, we don't have enough Storm to counter the stifle because they have 2 mana up, and so if they went stifle and then we fluster stormed, they would just pay 2 mana for it.
I'm really glad they didn't have like a daze there to just totally savage us for that misclick.
Yeah, they might have AK though. How about that? That's probably. Oh, they probably have days for this force. Either way, we lose to a daze now. Storm was 3. How?
Okay, that we weren't beating. We would have just had 1 extra available mana.
Fair. So upkeep, we fetch.
So now
and then they
we're
stifle, and Storm is 1, right?
yes. So
Oh, okay, he's right. Damn it, we messed up. You're right. Yeah. You're right. 100% right. Punto. Sorry. I don't know how I didn't realize that. Damn it. If we had just put all copies of Flusterstorm on the Stifle and not the Force of Will, we would have been in a better spot for sure. What do they put on top of their deck?
they put Brainstorm on top of their deck.
Get it.
All right, in their upkeep though, right?
Yeah.
No use fighting.
Actually, if you do it now, you can make a land drop, but that's fine. We'll just do it on their upkeep too. That's okay. Darn. We should have just targeted the Stifle. I didn't think about that. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and so next turn, I guess next turn we'll definitely jam Teferi, I think, because we have Seven's Reclamation to buy it back at some point in time.
All right, I'm game. I don't think this is resolving. Like opponent has no pressure on us. Yep.
Yeah, they're flooded out, and also the predict resolve, so we know they don't have days unless they exactly drew it. But yeah, now I think we're just in a very good spot.
Yeah, as soon as we can get a basic mountain, I think things are real cool.
Oh, I guess we could we have also. Oh no, we did predict. We did predict. That can get a volcanic island, right?
Yeah.
So we probably brainstorm here and see what the lottery
very
gives us.
potentially have a kill.
Very potentially. Yes.
There's the kill.
Okay, get him. Man, that was the juiciest predict. See, there are 140 people watching. I hope I have converted all 141 of you into just like drooling, salivating, just like hungry to draw card mages. You know what I'm saying? Like, just gotta feel it. It's just very good. Yeah, I don't know. And that's so this is kind of like, well, I'm not going to say like this is predict makes this utilization of predict is what makes the deck very controlly, but like we did go up in cards by a decent chunk, you know what I mean, to the point where
the predict there got us out of a spot that basically no other cards that we had would have.
I think so. I mean, like, first of all, we denied them a brainstorm, and then second of all, we just like massively churned through our deck to find exactly what we need. I don't necessarily know if that's really a good way to explain whatever it is, but we could just cast LED twice and then brain freeze them to death. You still like Thought Scour more? That's fair. No, I don't think Thought Scour does the same thing. I genuinely think that predict is just better because again, like the thing is like I will stand by the fact that I do not view this deck like a combo deck, right? There are a lot of people that will look at this deck and they will say, "Oh yeah, I want to assemble a combo and I want to jam. I want to put my show and tell on the stack and I want to win." I think this is more like I want to brainstorm into three silences and then tactically like tear my opponent apart and then win, much like ad nauseum tendrils, much like miracles, that kind of deal. So
All right, Anurag, how are we boarding against this monstrosity?
yeah, that's a really good point. So we definitely want the mentors. Okay, so
I know I want these, and then from there, I'm completely and totally unsure.
right, so we want the planes for sure as well. Lavinia, I personally enjoy boarding in. The swords to plowshares and the silences are also going to be very nice. Uh, then I would board in at least 2 wear tears.
All right, so you are pretty sure there's delvers in there, right? In that
Uh,
mess.
well, they had stifles and they had something else, right? Days is generally like pretty good with stifle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we could like shut down dazes and surgicals with Lavinia. That would be very, very good for us. Swords to plowshares is definitely going to come in. Silence is also going to come in.
All right. So swords to plowshares and silence. What are we boarding out? We have a giant stack of cards here.
Yeah.
So
So
start the same as before with 2 LEDs, 2 brain freezes.
yar, and
Then
then we would
where?
have 4 force of will, and force of will is just not where you want to be in the Delver matchup. I think I would cut spell pierces as well.
And
And
that
we need to cut.
still leaves us with 2.
So I would probably also Rodrigo is suggesting to cut the Teferi, which I think is not unreasonable. Um, and then we can also cut the third LED. And I'm happy with this. The caveat, though, is that we may want the third wear tear or a serenity if we're really afraid of counterbalance. But we only saw accumulated knowledge, right? We didn't actually see counterbalance. So I don't know 100% about that. But serenities and wear tears are going to be good in those departments if we want to beat those cards.
I think I like submitting like this for game 2
Yep.
and
Sure.
adjust more once we have seen more cards from our opponent. Because we didn't see a single threat from that game. We didn't see the counterbalance that we suspected is maybe there.
Mm-hmm. All right, this sounds pretty good.
Keep...
Yeah.
All right.
Aha, speak of the devil. Okay, that's pretty good too.
So do I just want to like play pedal and then fire the laser at the Delver immediately?
No. So the thing is, the scariest card in this matchup, generally speaking, when you're playing against blue-red Delver, is not Delver of Secrets, but Dreadhorde Arcanist. So this turn, I would probably just go Flooded Strand, crack, get Island, and ponder into a daze. Maybe I don't know if we want to play the LED, sorry, the Lotus Petal out to play around daze, but I guess it certainly is a consideration. Yeah, I guess we could do that. We can go Flooded Strand, Lotus Petal, crack, and then
Well, I'd crack first because then we can play the Lotus Petal around days, but that's
Sure.
super marginal. But whatever.
Yeah.
And then we would like to find Scalding Tarn. Prismatic Vista also does it.
Well, yeah, Vista's good here. Okay.
Yeah, what's the second
and
card we're taking? The Chant?
Yeah, Orange Chant. Basically, these white spells read 1 mana Hymn to Torok. Yeah, thank you, Swamps, protecting my identity. I am. I don't even know what I am anymore. I'm just like an amorphous blob.
Identity Crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this game, our opponent is like actually just looking like a blue-red Delver deck, and last game, they very much were not looking like that.
I agree. So, John, you've got some really good points about Thought Scour, but I think something that you're also mentioning. Well, okay. First of all, I guess Thought Scour. The first point about leaving up counter magic is pretty non-unique between Thought Scour and Predict. Although I will say that there is a little bit more luxury, maybe just like Vista, and then um,
So,
see,
am I just going to crack this here into the stifle so that I can try to bolt this on my turn on our turn, or do we want to like wait till my opponent's upkeep? I guess they don't have the Delver trigger's weird with the predicts. Or no, they're
yeah,
playing AKs, not predicts. Never mind.
I would probably just play the Prismatic Vista and fetch after we see what the Delver flips do.
Okay.
Because I don't think 1 mana versus 2 mana makes a difference. I mean, we may not fetch at all. What's on top of our deck? A card we don't want, right?
Yeah, it's a pedal. Force of
Okay.
Will on top.
Yeah, okay. I'd probably late fetch here. Yeah. And then kind of just like be sad when they stifle it, but whatever. Nice. Basic Mountain, here we come.
And I think we bolt while the Force is still on top of the library.
You either Fluster or Ponder. Well, I mean, Thought Scour is not competing with Ponder, right? All right, sorry, what were you saying, Phil?
What do you think about bolting the Delver while we still know the Force is on top of the library?
I'd rather just take 3 damage.
Okay.
We have other tools to get rid of the Force. Like, I'm more afraid of Dreadhorde Arcanist here for real.
Okay.
That card is spooky dookie.
So do you want to end step junk it?
Nah.
All right.
We got time. Seven's Reclamation doesn't really do much here. Okay, now I would Plains and maybe kill it on there because we didn't really draw a good card here.
Okay. Yeah, now we get to play around a Fluster or Spell Pierce naturally without using the pedal.
Yeah, and they didn't play Arcanist last turn, so it has to be exactly on top of their deck. And I'm willing for them to get lucky, assuming they even have it in the first place. And if they force this, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, but John, that's like the first turn though, right? Or like one turn. Over the course of the game, like Predict is a much better. Yeah, this is fine.
Yep.
Predict just feels a lot better. IMO. I don't know. We need to draw like a brainstorm pretty badly here.
Yeah, that would be cool. We have a lot of situational cards in our hand right now because we were like scared of the potential counterbalance.
So actually, the Wear Tear is going to also be good against cards like Tormod's Crypt, Grafdigger's Cage, and Null Rod. But yeah, I don't know. It's just not really panning out here.
Brainstorm's great. Ponder's fine. Breach is fine. Not amazing, but like it's very possible that we would just do a small value breach for like a bolt and a ponder.
I don't think it would resolve. We're at 12 now. Okay, I would not play the Tundra. I would just pass.
Okay.
Yeah. Is we can sandbag the Tundra for like a Lotus or for like a thing. Yo, that's nuts. That's nuts.
I think this is probably the first time this league where we've had this many cards in hand and we just haven't been like right on the cusp of doing something crazy.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes this will happen.
But it happens with any deck.
Yeah. I guess they could like go bolt here. Ponder, sure.
Yeah, we do not have much time.
So if we draw Underworld Breach, I think we're just gonna jam. Orm's chants and stuff like that. Ooh, that's very good. Hell yeah! So I would probably lead with the chant here.
Or do we lead with silence, right? Because there's worlds where we might need to kick the chant to stay alive.
Yeah. So they went Force of Will, pitching
Ponder.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that resolves. Now I guess you could play. You have a couple options here. You can play Tundra into Orange Chant or Tundra into Monastery Mentor, and I'm really leaning towards Tundra into Orange Chant. But then we have to do some math, right, to see how much damage we take, because we also get to play the LED out. That's 1, 2. Yeah, I would lead Tundra into Orange Chant. Then we can't smash the thing if we need to. Hmm.
So there's also the line of Mentor LED, Crack LED, Savine's Reclamation, Get Back LED Land. No, that doesn't get us anywhere.
Yeah, that one's
Sorry, I started looking at the map and
No, yeah, I like it. I like the way you're thinking. That's where you got to go when you're playing this deck. You have to go into the dark depths of your mind, think of all the stuff. Um, I guess we could just jam 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the problem is if Mentor gets countered by another Force of Will, which is not unlikely for them to have,
we flash back next turn. We take
because they
two,
yeah they
three,
did
4, 5, 6, and we're dead to Bolt. But we're losing to a Bolt pretty much anyway this game.
not if we play the Mentor out first, because then we can. What can we do? We can chant and smash in response. Yeah, okay. I guess we just play the Tundra out and play Mentor maybe and say whatever. If you have another thing, you have another thing. Oh, I guess we don't have enough mana to do all that stuff anyway, so that's fine. It's whatever. And I guess the next thought is, yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna immediately play LED here too. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure. I don't think kicking Orange Chen is particularly good here.
I don't think kicking that puts us into a winning position. It just keeps us from not losing for one.
Yeah,
turn.
The truth is, I very rarely use Orm's Chant to. I very rarely kick Orm's Chant. It's generally only if I have like I think the biggest use case scenario where I kick Orm's Chant is where like I have a Teferi in play and I somehow am trying to like time walk them without Teferi dying. It's weird. Just like invocations. Invocations, I never really learned which ones are which. Like I couldn't even tell you which ones are like which invocations actually exist. Death and Taxes seems like the most likely matchup. Yeah, that one's Elves is another good one in case they play like Craterhoof. That one's pretty cool too. That's like the real tilter, but I don't think anyone would ever actually like Orm's Chant for it. I think sorry, Natural Order for Craterhoof in that matchup. They probably just play the Archon.
And Archon has been really impressive, in my opinion. At first, I saw that card and I was like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't exactly win the game, but it gets you out of a lot of odd spots.
Yeah. Archon on. So what I think is happening here is they think that the Monastery Mentor is bait
for Breach because we still have two mana available,
and they don't have a daze to or another counterspell to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that resolves. Sure. Whatever.
All right. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7 damage in play.
They have Bolt. We die. Cool.
Yep. No fear.
I agree.
Next turn we can.
I know exactly.
Oh.
But if they had Bolt, you think they'd just Bolt the Monastery Mentor, right? And not force pitching whatever. What did they pitch?
Pierce.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess they could always draw a card with Fiery Eyelet, but yeah. All right, let's get it.
Come on.
Any cantrip. Well, I guess we're going to just Seven's Reclamation, get back Monastery Mentor, and then how many things can we make here?
We'll cast some cards in random order
and see what we get.
See what we get.
I like this. Damn. All right. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. We saw like 17 cards and only one cantrip. Maybe they're also just sitting on like Pyroblast and stuff like that that don't do too much. But you know what? That's also fine. So five. So we need to make uh is it five block. No, we need to make five blockers. Oh no, uh, not
Okay.
that many.
So
So
I guess we start on the Swords of Plowshares on the Young Pyromancer.
no, play the LED out first.
Okay. All right. Stack abilities automatically. Always yield and always yield.
Hey, there we go. We're learning.
All right. So why aren't these automatically going on the stack now?
So you have to click the mentor all the way on the right first.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Okay.
Yeah. The make a monk trigger needs to be on this because if you click the prowess triggers, it still doesn't know like how to differentiate between the unique triggers, right? It only automatically jumps on the stack when there's like a unique trigger remaining. So that's why when we were brain freezing and playing Monastery Mentor, like when you click the monk prowess trigger, it was just like freaking out. Force of negation. Oh man.
Okay.
All right, I guess we're dead.
Yeah. So that would have beaten the other line of Orum's Chant with Kicker.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
now I can only cast one spell, have 4 blockers. Yeah. Womp womp.
Yep, these things happen. Yeah. There's nothing more to it. I don't think there's really a line where we flash back.
Yeah, like we can flash that back and get a land, but that doesn't get us more, like enough more tokens. Because my opponent has 7 creatures. We could make 4, 5. Is that an early concession?
No, it wasn't. I don't think so. Wait, what's up? Why was it early?
So we can flash this back, get 2 lands. Oh no, then because then we can't cast the Wear Terror.
We have no
So
hand.
we can
Yeah.
only cast the Orum's Chant, so that would only get us up to 5 things. That blocks this,
Yeah.
and then we die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. So we didn't really see counterbalance, so I'm down to just keep it as is. I think we have to keep the wear tears in though, regardless, because we just have no game against cards like Null Rod and things like that.
Okay. So ship it back.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, Rob. Unfortunately, Force of Negation doesn't do too much in that situation since they can just hard cast it there. But it is. I mean, I guess the token can attack. Oh, why yes, Magic Online. We would love to play first. Oh, why yes, Magic Online. This hand seems much better than whatever doo-doo we were playing with earlier.
Yeah. Last time around was rough. So I just like Island Ponder.
I agree. Arkin, I'm gonna assume Rodrigo thinks it's like clunky.
You
I don't know
can't
if
you
there's.
can't really protect it.
Okay, let's see. So the Ponder is not bad. The other two cards I don't exactly care for right now.
I think we
Or
take Ponder and Swords of Plowshares here, and put Mentor on bottom.
I changed my mind because we have Sevens Reclamation. Maybe we can just jam Mentor into some crap. You know what I mean? And just like Sevens it back into play. But they also have a lot of forces and spell pierces and soft counter magic.
So okay, what if we take Ponder and Mentor, put swords down at the bottom?
Well, we should put Ponder on the bottom. I think. Do we want all three of these?
I. Okay, yeah. If we're not gonna take one of these, I think we're not taking the second Ponder here.
No. So I guess we definitely want the Ponder. I'm just worried about a random surgical extraction on our Ponder, and I don't want to lose 2 cards in our hand. But I think that's just me being crazy. We could just play draw the Mentor, then the Ponder, then the Source of Plowshares. I think the Source of Plowshares. I think we'll have time to cast, especially the way their deck is playing. I'm making up reasons here, and I'm just spitballing, but like whatever. Their deck is all about controlling us, and if the, outside of like a turn 1 Delver, which I'd be surprised if they just jammed. You guys, some people would shuffle, yeah. Sure. Okay, turn one Delver. This thing happens.
That's fine. We can
Yeah.
wait. Like we
I
just.
would. I actually think I would fire off one of these ponders now.
I think I
Uh,
like doing it pre making the land drop as well.
sure. My reasoning is I don't really want them to get pyroblasted. I don't mind if they get dazed. That's fine, but pyroblast feels okay. Perfect. Now we can just play the Scalding Tarn.
Yep.
Nice. I like the way you type that swamps.
So do you want to play the Tarn and expose it to waste
Yeah.
plus stifle?
Yeah, that I mean, if they waste plus stifle, that's good for us. But
Okay.
also, because we also have the backup ponder to shuffle in the worst case scenario. Um, but I
Like
think
I probably would have just played the planes here and played
okay,
conservatively because like if they waste, they don't know this, but if they waste the Tarn, it actually would be very 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 good for them.
that's reasonable. So here, what are they doing? Don't play counterbalance. Don't play counterbalance. Don't do it. 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 Null rod.
I
Okay.
mean that's fine. We're going to ignore Null Rod with our game plan this game.
Yeah. All right. Here's I'm gonna tell you this, and I know what you're thinking, and I know that you're afraid, but Phil, you have to trust me. Look at me in the eye right now.
All right, Anuraag.
Just look at me in the eye, crack that Scalding Tarn, and jam, baby, jam. Let's go. Let's get it.
I mean, you don't have to convince me. I wanted to jam the Mentor anyway.
Woohoo! Yeehaw! Let's go, truckers.
Come
Where we at?
on and slam.
Please.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I wait. I didn't think this far. What the hell? No, this is not good for us. No, this is not. This is not the plan. Our
All right.
opponent is.
So they probably have a bolt.
Yeah. Oh, they don't.
Oh, they don't have the bolt.
That's also very exciting. Why not Swords the Delver and Ponder? Because we have Seven's Reclamation in hand. I
Yeah,
think that
this makes the Mentor like so expendable.
Mm-hmm. And like we can even set up a really cool turn where we go like Orm's Chant into Seven's Reclamation to make sure that it resolves. What is this? Ponder, maybe? I don't know.
Oh man.
Nice.
They don't have it right now.
Yeah, and they're not gonna find it here either. I'm sorry, Tony, but I actually hacked Magic Online while you were vigorously shuffling your deck with the Scalding Tarn, and I actually took out all the lightning bolts that you boarded or kept in your deck, or boarded back into your deck, should I say? Because I also knew in game 2 that you didn't have any of them. I am whatever. What's my evil supervillain name? All right, this joke is horrible, and I'm so sorry that I did this to everybody here. Holy moly!
What happened with that Ponder? Oh man, they shuffled. Oh man, it's happening.
Right. Famous last words. So they have the Pyroblast open right now, which is pretty good for us. I mean, not pretty good for us, but it's not a big deal. Damn, that would be the biggest tease in the world is if they
After all that, they another Delver.
Oh my god. Nice, nice, nice. That means that now we get to ponder for free. Now don't Phil, I know what you're thinking, Phil.
No, I can't do it, right? I can't do it.
Wait, actually, why is it not just the ultimate play here? No, because all right, fine, ponder. All right, just get your value.
All right.
I would probably ponder first. Well, actually, maybe you're right. Maybe sort of just live your life kind of deal.
I think since we like 100% want to do this turn, we should do it while we have the greatest amount of mana available for the like days situations.
Oh wow, that result too. Okay, and my in retrospect, the reason I was thinking to do that is because I actually want them to Swords to Plowshares the thing, but from this point on now, we just need to find white mana.
Yep.
That is about it, because then we get to do some dumb stuff like play Orm's Chant and then play our white mana, play Underworld Breach. Oh wow, look at that.
Do we have we boarded in the second basic planes, right?
We did. So I would grab the Lotus Petal here, play it, and hit for 5 points of damage. Oh wait, no, Lotus Petal doesn't do anything here. Because
yeah, I think we just take Flooded Strand, crack it.
Yeah, that
For
sounds
yeah.
way smarter. That sounds way smarter. Unfortunately, Pedal doesn't let us go nuts on Breach because we can't sack it because of LED, but or because of Null Rod. But we could have gone ballistic here. What the hell? Okay, that's
Sure.
That's a mulligan. And this is why Lightning Bolt is kind of cool too, I guess. I don't know. Now I guess Swords to Plowshares is. Now do we get the basic island? No, we probably still want the plains.
No,
right?
we still want like Orum's Chant plus Mentor, those sorts of
Oh no
things
no no no!
available
Wait
to
wait
us.
wait 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 wait! Think about this! Think about this! Think about this! If we get the basic plains, get the plains, get the plains. I was gonna say like we could go like Underworld Breach into Ponder Ponder, but nah. I think going Orange Chant into like ultimate God mode, you know, whatever. Underworld. I don't know where I'm going with this thing. Whatever. I just want monk triggers, okay? And then
We have so many monks. We just need like a cantrip to get us started, or
yeah.
alternatively, just hitting land drops is fine too.
Yeah.
Like most of our draws outside of like Lotus Petal are just good, and even that isn't that bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage, so. All right, let's get it. Oh, and if you wanted to get really spicy here, yeah, I mean you attack for sure.
Okay.
I guess we'll see what they have on their upkeep. There's no real reason to trade an Orange Chant with the Spell Pierce. So I was gonna say that you can maybe like silence them here on their turn so they can't do anything silly. If they reveal like a Lightning Bolt, that's the Ponder. Okay.
I mean,
we have Seven's Reclamation. We should be fine.
okay.
Like we can go like Seven's Orange Chant into Seven's Reclamation and then buy back the Mentor if we really want to. Nicely done. You wish we beat Lewis CBR for the final? That'd be sick. Nice, me too. I see your words and I'm not contorting them in any way. Not a single way. That's not me. Not I.
My matches with Lewis are really interesting. Either he concedes after 3 turns, or they're these like crazy intricate games. There's very little in between.
You get to the whole 3rd turn. So impressed. For me, sometimes it's just turn 1 plain Swords to Plowshares, and he's just like, all right, thanks.
So my favorite one is I was playing a mono black deck that had like Lash Writhe, Vampire Nighthawk, and Gifted Aetherborn. And I just went turn 2 Gifted Aetherborn, turn 3 Vampire Nighthawk, and he conceded the entire match.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I had some of those before as well.
Lewis is a great player, by the way. Like we're taking some rubs at him, obviously, but like he values his time very highly.
We take rubs at everyone. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you're doing. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just wanted to make bad one-liners. Are we winning yet?
Well, opponent is deciding whether or not to attack with their Delver, so I believe that's what winning is.
That just feels great, doesn't it? Oh, perfect. Silence, Underworld Breach, Double Ponder, kill him.
Oh, is it really that easy?
I don't know. I didn't even think about it. That's probably what I would do. I don't even know if we have enough cards in our graveyard, but that's where I would start. Wow, he didn't scoop. It was a bluff. That's insane. That's probably like the looniest thing I've seen. I've heard. That's not. You weren't playing against Lewis. You were playing against the bot. That's not the Louis that I know and love. I love Louis. I love hanging out with him too. He's like super chill.
All right, you have your AK. Draw your 1 card for 2 mana.
Yeah, this AK has not very looked good.
All right, so that resolved. So are we just going for Underworld Breach, 2 sets of triggers and go? Maybe accidentally win.
Yeah, sure. That sounds like.
I have an island off of this I can get, right?
You should.
Okay.
If all is well.
Hey, now that I know how triggers on Magic Online work, this is way better.
I know. I don't know. Do we want to fetch first? Probably not. Whatever. It's fine. I can't. Yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what we would. needs here. So okay, that's pretty good.
Is it?
I would probably take the silence, yeah,
Okay.
and then shuffle and then just cantrip again.
So
What the hell?
take silence. Sure.
My hotel phone is ringing. One sec. That's
Yeah,
weird.
go for it.
We want to shuffle that one.
Yeah.
Oh, did you end up shuffling the silence away?
I thought I didn't, but I guess I did.
Okay, it doesn't really matter. We got
No.
more gas in the tank. We will hit them for 11. They go down to 4, and then honestly, like we just 5-0 and sort of laugh. Oh, we hit them for 10. My bad. Okay, yeah, that does make sense, opponent. You are right.
I'm fine with the Delver jump blocking.
What the hell? It's
Again?
ringing again.
You're so popular.
I know. Hello? Hello?
Hi, Anuraag. It's the 5-0 calling you.
Oh, nice. Hey, we did it. Easy.
All right, not with that deck list. Let's delete that so it's not here.
Hey, so, real quick, I want to write down the matchups that we played in our game counts and things like that because I'm curious just in terms of like documentation. So, do you want to do like a really quick like 30-second recap maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, let's see if we can remember. So, they were all 2-1s.
Okay. Young Gert was playing D&T, right?
Yes.
Piao was on Breach.
Yep.
King Regal was on Breach.
Yep.
And then JTL was on
Esper Vile.
And then we just played against Blue Red Delver by
Kind of.
Tony. Yeah. Which we lost? Did we lose game 1 or no? We lost game 2, right? That was the game where we had the wear tear in our hand, and then we lost game 2 against JTL as well.
Yes.
And I think we lost game 1 against Austin because that's the game where we had like all those underworld breaches where we didn't actually cast them.
Correct.
And then we lost game 2 against Piao where we punted because we didn't take the spell pierce.
Yep.
And then I know we won game 3 against Youngert. Which one did we lose?
Game 2?
Yeah, it was game 2.
Game 2.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Very, very nice. We did it. Pretty good.
All right. This deck feels incredibly powerful to me. If you are a Legacy player, this should be one of the primary decks that you are either looking to play or are looking to beat right now in your deck selection and sideboard tuning.
I agree. I think this deck is very good. I don't think it's going to be around for a long time. That is my honest opinion of it. I really wish it would stick around. It has not. I don't remember the last time a combo deck has actually been that good. Like, when's the last time a combo deck has been the best deck in the format? Bob said, yeah, go ahead.
There have been pockets, and by that I mean like a 1 to 2 week period where some decks like Depths were very good, but like the decks that we've seen at the top of the metagame for the last few years, like at the very, very pinnacle, have been things like the Deathrite Shaman Delver or Deathrite Shaman control decks, followed by the Ren and 6 control decks, through a period of time where D&T was really good, but it's really been more tempo and control at the very, very top.
Okay.
But now I think Breach is just like one of the absolute best decks of the format. And the weird thing there is that there are multiple flavors of it, which all have various strengths and weaknesses. I think this shell is very good. This specific build.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was also. I have been very happy with it, and after today, currently I am. Oh shit! Wow, I hit the 50 match mark. Yeah, and we are 46 and 8 right now. What is that?
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I don't think this deck is long for the world, but I mean, until then, you might as well milk it and get whatever you can. I hope it. I hope. I hope. Well, honestly, like the reality of the situation is that I wish I was playing in the 20K coming up. Are you going to that event?
I am currently not planning any out of town events because like I've been sick off and on since December.
Yeah.
So I have no major travel plans currently. I
Okay.
want to, but like I don't have plans for it yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
if I were going to the 20K, I would be grinding this deck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think this deck is insane, and I think this deck is going to be like that's probably one of the reasons because I feel like that event's going to be so free for people who are playing Breach and people who are like very well versed in playing Breach. That I don't even know what to say. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, so most of the decks that I have been playing right now have been anti-breach decks, where I am playing like Leyline, Chalice, Thorn, plus a Swift Clock. And like I just want to have a lot of interaction and back it up quickly so that this deck can't win through it. Because you
mm-hmm.
can't expect to beat this deck with one piece of hate. I hope you all saw that after tonight. Like one piece of hate was just a joke. Like, oh,
Yeah.
meddling mage on Underworld Breach. Discard it somehow, Savine's Reclamation, put it into play, win anyway. Like tonight was just crazy.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just heard from Daniel Gochel that he went 4-1 with blue, white, red Delver, beating two breach decks. Hmm. Okay.
Not bad.
Uh, not bad at all. All right, dude. I'm gonna head out. I have to go finish my Magic match and then like fall asleep because I didn't sleep too much last night. But
Oh
good
yeah.
game. I hope you are excited about this deck. Well, it sounds like you definitely are.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll chat with you on Facebook a little bit more later. Take care,
yeah.
Anuraag.
All right. See ya.
Bye. So for everyone else here, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Again, sorry for not being as attentive to the chat and the subs and such as I usually am. So Clone, thank you very much for following, or sorry, for subscribing, as well as Chrono4. Let me see if I can do this while I'm live and have this go live right now, because if I can, I totally want you all to see this. I spent a little bit of time putting something together that you all will recognize. A little gift from me to you to tide things over. PNG must be 28 by 28. It is 28 by 28. Alright, I can't do it live. I have some error. But here's what I plan on having coming to the stream. So in the short term, I'm going to add my my pixel art from the Legacy Premier League as an emote. And then in the long term, I have an artist working on a Chalice of the Void emote. Let me see if I have the sketch handy. So this was just like the corner of a piece of paper sketch of the initial idea for what the Chalice of the Void emote was going to look like. So probably going to end up looking pretty cool once it's like digitized and turned into like something that actually resembles the real art. No, I'm fine and Andy. Considering how little attention I paid to chat tonight and like how awesome this league was, I'm gonna go ahead and call that like good enough, and when we'll go ahead and post the new emote as soon as I can get it going. So best friend Tabitha, tonight's stream was originally scheduled for tomorrow, but Anuraag called me and asked to swap it tonight. So this was our equivalent of the Thursday stream. So, hey Matt, you ended up with a sub. Fine and Andy, thank you once again for your support. You've really been one of the champions of the channel recently. So I'm going to be back Saturday. Rules are rules. Takes 3. All right, that's fine. I'll go with that. Yeah, I hope this was fun to watch. It was one of the longer streams that I've done in quite some time. Folks, do we have anyone streaming Legacy that I can host? Because I have a lot of viewers. Oh, Arkin. Is Arkin still streaming? The Legacy streams thing has been sort of like off and on recently for me, and its results aren't always accurate anymore. So I don't see anyone streaming Legacy. So I'll host someone who is randomly over in my sidebar here. Folks, I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. Canlander. Is it just Ben Space Wheeler? I'll host that random person, if that is their name. Benjamin underscore Wheeler. All right. Well, I'll send you over to that person, folks. Well, celebrating a friend's 21st is always great. Benjamin underscore Wheeler. Send them that way. Have a great rest of the night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. I'm exhausted. This was mentally draining, but very fun.